Spilling the tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Brought to you exclusively on Kiss FM by J. Michael, fashion for everyone. Good morning, Sandy.
Hey, good morning, Blake and Aaron. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Happy Wednesday. What do you got for us?
Yes, Hump Day Wednesday. Amazing. So, trending on social media, there's a couple who visited the Cayman Islands recently on a cruise ship, and they were hit by a hit and run, driver, and they're trying to get some assistance in locating that individual.
Wow.
So, yeah, pretty crazy. But if you saw anything, or you might know who this person is.
When did this happen?
It happened, let me get you the date. I think it was last week, Friday. So yeah, they're on the search for whoever's responsible for this incident. It's pretty serious. They sustained some injuries, and it happened on the 18th between 1350 and 1400 hours. So
They were on Harbor Drive or what?
Yes, yep. They're walking back from Cayman Spirits. No, my apologies, not Harbor Drive. They're walking from Cayman Spirits and cross Esterly Tibbetts Highway, right here at the roundabout, which of course is the island's worst roundabout.
Yeah, that's not.
Little did they know, right?
All the time, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. So they're just asking for this person to. It's an unbelievable story. We're going to be posting it up here shortly, but yeah, they're asking for whoever this might be to come forward.
I see random, tourists. You can tell a tourist when you see them, right?
Yeah.
Kind of just walking down Godfrey Nixon, wondering where are they going?
Yeah, I know.
They're lost. Walking down School Road, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's not probably not where you want to be.
Yeah,
maybe it is. I don't know.
Depends on what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's true.
But thankfully, most people get back on their cruise ships, no incidents. But you got to be mindful when you're traveling abroad, no matter where you are, really.
Certainly, you don't want to cross Esterly Tibbetts or the Alti roundabout. That's a bad idea.
So the Ministry of Tourism and Ports has reassured the public that a cruise ship, somebody alerted and posted yesterday on social media, that a cruise ship was anchored outside of their designated area whilst visiting the Cayman Islands, and there were some allegations that the cruise ship was actually over a dive location as well. Mm-hmm. So the ministry sent some people out to check it out, and they said that that's not correct, that it was, properly within the designated anchorage area, and it was fine. It was within the buoys and whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think visually it looked really, really close. And so some people were concerned about it, and they highlighted it on social media. But the ministry has been in contact with the port, and they're reassuring everyone that in this case, looks were deceiving.
Yeah, you can get a cruise. I've seen it before where you can get a cruise ship. I don't know if this is where it was, but where it looks like it's basically sitting on top of Eden Rock.
Yeah.
But
it was very close to that.
It could get really close, but it's not. It's still sand, and it's, if you wanted to, you could swim probably underneath. You could dive underneath the cruise ship.
I don't know if you that, but no. And congratulations to Health City Cayman Islands. They've received their first patients at the the Health City's Oncology Center, Radiation Oncology Center. So this is the one now that's at Cayman Bay.
Yep.
So they received their first patients last week. So this is a big deal because it's the first, obviously, radiation oncology center here in the Cayman Islands, and it means that cancer treatments. People who qualify for this will now not have to travel overseas. They have that option available to them right here in the Cayman Islands.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty nice. And yesterday was World Turtle Day, just in case you did not know.
Okay.
Why not celebrate the beautiful turtles?
Speaking of that really quick, did they ever find the lobster poacher?
Oh, yes, we know exactly who he is in the police report as well.
And
did he get in trouble?
I hope so. I'll wait to see if his name shows up on the court list.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it definitely should be. And apparently he does it all the time, I'm told.
Really?
Not his first time. Yes. And his friend who was fishing from the shoreline would also be guilty of an offense because that is a marine environment, a marine park.
Yeah, he was line fishing. That's what I thought. When I saw that, I was like,
that's illegal too?
Yeah.
That's your news headlines. Blake and Aaron. Woohoo.
All right. Bye. Catch Sandy coming up on Bobo 89.1 FM. We'll see you tomorrow for the Thursday headlines. Have a good one.
Bigger, better, bolder.
The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's Community Radio.
We are still spilling the tea.
And committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
I've come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman,
Live, direct.
it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
Happy Wednesday. Hump Day Wednesday is normally what we call this. How are you guys doing today? Big shout out to Frank Flowers Jr. Have you guys seen this good news? He's continuing his filmmaking journey. I should say he's probably a writer, producer. I don't know. I think he kind of does it all. But Frankie, as most people in the Cayman Islands know him as, has been doing an amazing job, with his profession, with his craft. And I think we should all be extremely proud of his accomplishments. So we posted a video yesterday. I hope you guys had an opportunity to see it. Just giving him a big shout out. He actually has done a movie. It's a Peacock movie, I guess, on the life of, hold on now. Oh gosh, what's this basketball guy's name? I'm the worst at sports. I got to tell you, hold on. I'm going to get you all the details. 1 second now, 1 second. Let me get you the information. I'm actually going to share it with you guys. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. I love to see Caymanians overseas, especially making their mark around the world. Obviously, this is great for the Cayman Islands. This is fantastic. Now, we're going to have him on the show, but he can't do it right now because some of you might be aware that there is a strike afoot. It's the Writers Guild of America, I think, is what the association is called. They are on strike because they say that they need a pay increase and they're just not being treated right. And so this is what you call a proper strike, folks. These people are doing a fantastic job for sure. So what they have done is, they hold rank with each other. No one is going to be, holding out like, oh, I'm going to go to work. And then other people are not going to go to work because that's not when you win. Listen, strength in numbers. So collectively, what they've done is actors, even people, you know what is so crazy? Even people who are in the reality TV world, right? The ones who have a conscience, right? I'm going to pull this up here for you guys in a second. But yes, even those individuals are part of the supportive team for the strike. Like they're not doing certain things. So the Writers Guild has instructed all of its screenwriters and everybody else who's trying to be in support, don't do any media, don't do any press, don't attend any interviews, like none of that, which I think is phenomenal. So Frankie is, supporting, that's his livelihood. So he's got to support the cause. And yeah, he's out there doing his thing. So once I'm hoping that it doesn't last too much longer, but once the negotiations are over, we will certainly have him on the show, interview him. But here's a snippet from this Peacock original movie.
People think they know my story, but this is our story.
See a second, coach.
You on the team here?
Nah, but I could be if you're lucky. Me and my boys, we've been balling with each other since we was like 10. Call ourselves the Fab Four.
Let's go then! Get up! Hey!
We can win you a state championship, guaranteed.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle pay the price.
When they were young, I was just trying to find good kids. They all kind of balanced each other out. Willie, both his parents addicts. His big brother took him in, saved his little brother's life. Shion, we just want Shion to work off a little bit of his baby fat. Drew was born with basketball in his blood. I picked LeBron because he has skills and he was a good kid. His mom just wants a spot where he can be safe and not get in any trouble.
Come on, pose, Denzel.
We value all the talent you boys are gonna bring to this school.
Oh my goodness, look at y'all. And now tell me, which one of y'all supposed to be Carlton?
Wow, stop.
You?
All my life, been grinding all my life.
They're not very good.
Let's try this. You're in the game, let's go.
Hustle pay the price. One slice, I can vote dice.
We may be seeing the beginnings of something special here in Akron.
All my life.
Watch out.
You watch out. Maybe you see some new faces. This is Mr. Travis.
Travis Slam!
They're so damn good and they know it.
In business!
Hustle pay the price.
Just make sure that doesn't tear them apart.
What's it like coaching the best high school player in the country?
Play some defense.
Sorry, can't all be the chosen one.
What you say to me? How successful you become depends on how well you manage pressure.
He's not just your player, he's your son too.
So we just ain't gonna talk to each other for the whole season?
Sacrifice, hustle pay the price.
What happens if nobody wants me?
A whole lot more than just basketball.
All my life, been grinding all my life.
Wanted to make great players out of you.
Hustle pay the price.
Dad wants to make great men. That'll last a lot longer.
Grinding all my life.
We here, so we know what we're capable of.
When you look back at this time in your lives, it won't be the stats.
Grinding all my life.
To be that person next to you.
All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Did you make the time you had together count?
Sacrifice, hustle pay the price.
Right now, I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about my brothers.
All my life, been grinding all my life.
All right, folks, that looks like a winner to me. Shooting Stars, new movie, new Peacock special. Looks like it's following the life of LeBron James and I guess whoever else he's playing with. Don't ask me the names, honey, chill. Shooting Star, new movie. Let me try to find out. Let me see when it's coming out. So it's a film about young LeBron James and his three best friends as they become the #1 high school team in the country. And I think it kind of follows them a little bit too through it looks like some of that was college as well, but mostly on how they got started playing in high school. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So congratulations, Frankie. Looks good. I'm going to watch it once it's out. Is it out yet? I think just the official trailer dropped a couple days ago. So I'm looking for, it says that Peacock released the full trailer for Universal Pictures coming of age drama called Shooting Stars, starring newcomer Marquise Mookie Cook, obviously a young actor. And yeah, this is pretty cool. So it's based on LeBron James and Pulitzer Prize winner Buzz Bisinger's novel by the same name. And the 1990s set story follows a young LeBron James and his three best friends, Lil Drew, Willie McGee, and Sean Cotton, declare themselves the Fab Four. And this group of friends, under the guidance of Coach Drew Joyce, is connected by more than basketball, and that's their story. So, of course, we know that Frankie Flowers is he does, I think, he'll take the book and he'll do the script for the movie. Yeah. Fantastic. So screenplay written by Frank E. Flowers. Look at that. Woohoo! Where is my little applause button? Hold on now. There we go. Go, Frankie. Go, Frankie. Awesome. Good job. Love to see Caymanians doing positive things all over the world, making your mark on this beautiful place, right? Yeah, nice. Love it. Miss Vernita, good morning to you. Miss Faith is here. Stephen, how are you? He's saying good morning, beautiful people. We got Olivia in the house. Cayman Coco. Hi, Cayman Coco. How you doing? She says, good morning, Sandy. Charlotte joining us from Scotland. What's the weather like over there? Miss Dean saying good morning to everybody in the CMR community. Angela is here. Miss Dorotha from Northside is here. I'm going to talk about something in Northside, Dorotha, I need your help with this morning. Felicia is here. Toby, Alejandro, Tracy, good morning. Siobhan is in the house. Everybody's like, I'm here, front and center. Wee KK says, where's Hearst Road? Please specify the district. Nah, I know the districts and not the road name. Girl, how you don't know where Hearst Road is? Hearst Road is the road that runs all the way from the main road down to North Sound Estates, UCCI. That's Hearst Road. It runs past the bypass. So it starts at the top of the road, right by Countryside, and runs straight down. You didn't know where Hearst Road was, honey? Yeah. I guess because I live in the area, because I feel you. Because if somebody tells me a road must be, I'm like, where exactly is Badabanuhu? So you know where you live, right? Siobhan says that looks dope. It does. Miss Morna, good morning. Everton's in the house. Hey, Everton. Blessed, good morning, says Miss Ethel. Siobhan says, I'll be watching. Yeah, I think we should all have like we should all do like a little preview and, have a preview party or something. Go watch it. Liz says the Hearst Road's in Newlands. That's right. It's not Savannah. Savannah is a little bit different than Newlands. Don't y'all be telling them Savannians that Newlands. No, you're not going to tell you. Don't get confused. Bishop Hero Blair, good morning to you. Fam. Yes, congratulations to Frank Flowers Jr. Miss Charlotte says, it's starting to warm up in Scotland. The sun's out. That's good. Denise is in the house. Good morning, Denise. How are you? Yasmin is here. Aliano checking in. All right, folks. So let's talk about, we got a guest coming on at, Siobhan likes the idea of a preview party. We have a guest coming on at 8 o'clock this morning. We're going to talk about immigration scammers again. This one might be a little bit more interesting, though, because this is someone who's actually paid professionally to do a job, and they're simply not doing it. So we've had a couple, in the past, we've done some preview parties where this is when I had my office there in Pasadena Place. We did one with the R. Kelly documentary, and mostly, I think all women showed up to that. I don't think there was any guys there. Is Marva here this morning? Marva was one of the people that showed up to that. That was really quite good. And then we discussed it afterwards. We had some snacks, and it comes out June the 2nd. Thank you. We had some snacks afterwards, and we, just like talked about the movie. In that case, this was a documentary. Okay, hold on one second here. So yeah, we had a little chat about it afterwards. It's very, very interesting to kind of, look at movies that are biographical in nature, or like R. Kelly was actually like supposed to be an expose on him. All these victims came forward. If you guys never watched the R. Kelly Discovering R. Kelly or something, you should watch it, because it is an eye-opener to a whole new world that exists out there about how people, in particular young girls and women, caught up with celebrities, and it happens to young boys too, can really be taken advantage of, and how many people, how many people are there to willingly help predators have access to children just because the predators are famous or they have money. It's such a sad situation, quite frankly, I don't know. I don't even want to think about that this morning. Some mornings I just can't even. It's just horrible. So what else we got on the agenda? So we've got a guest coming on this morning. Let me talk about Northside here for a minute. So somebody called me yesterday, And they were saying, Sandy, I need your advice, or I need you to figure this one out for me, because I don't know how this works. But they say when somebody comes out of prison, what's the procedure? Do they just drop them? Because this is what they witnessed, right? This guy in Northside, I'm guessing he has a drug problem, always in and out of prison. And so what they do is, apparently when he comes out of prison, I don't know if this is the prison staff or who it is, but they just take him and drop him off at the bus stop there by the playfield in Northside. And apparently he doesn't have anywhere to live, and he's just gonna hang out there at the bus stop. And this person says, listen, he seems harmless enough, but if you're on drugs, sometimes you get caught up into different things, right? You might accidentally, sometimes he's talking inappropriately to the younger children. That's not accidental. I mean, somebody should kick him in the head for that foolishness. But anyway, of course, he's gonna blame the drugs, right? So I don't know. I was a bit like, I couldn't believe that that's actually how it's done. There's no prison release protocols. Can somebody explain this to me? I don't know much about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've not been to prison yet. I keep telling y'all I'm actually not designed for prison life. I'm too cute for prison. Don't y'all think so? Child, them women in prison might be looking at me a little bit too hard. I'd be like, hey, don't even think about it. But yes, so I don't know what the protocol is. I have no idea. This kind of stumped me, but I was like, would they do that? Would they just take someone and drop them off at the bus stop and be like, okay, see you later. See you in a couple months, because we know you'll be back. Pretty crazy, right? Does anybody know how this works? Maybe you've got experience. Maybe you've been in prison yourself, or you've got a family member that has been incarcerated here. Or maybe you're a police officer or prison officer or somebody who knows the protocols. How does this work when you get released from prison? Is there not like okay, how do we ensure that you don't come back here next week kind of thing? Where they ensure that you're going in the care of a family member. I know for certain prisoners, there is almost like a reintegration option, where if they've been incarcerated for a number of years, they kind of slowly reintroduce them to society. So I'm thinking, because I remember when Canova Watson got out the last time, they actually had him working, because people were like, oh, he's out working as an accountant. Like, he's got a job already, he's working and all this kind of thing. And they were like, is this a real prison? Because how's he working already? And I said, well, he only served 60%. Caller, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, morning, Sunday.
Morning.
When you get released from prison, they do an assessment on yours before they release you. Like, I think it's a week before you get released.
Mm-hmm. So why would they be just dropping him off at the gas station or the bus stop?
But that's the thing. No, I as far as I know, before they release you, if you do not have no homes, they have you set up for a halfway home in the rehab or wherever it is that they believe that you need. Because if you don't have a home address that they drop you off, they cannot release you.
Mm.
So then you have to be like either qualified to be in the halfway home, or if you have a friend or family member that you can actually stay with. If you do not have a friend or family member you cannot stay with, then they don't want to release you for anything, unless you are like some regular bum. They expect you to do something, and then you're just there for a visit, like, free meals and a little paycheck. And that's all I can say still, because this island just so damn corrupted, and you don't even know what the truth is anymore.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
All
right, folks, 936 Bobo is the telephone number. Anyone who has some information, because like I said, I honestly do not know. I don't even know. I've never even visited the prison to say that I'm visiting a family member, because you know me, honey chill. You get yourself in trouble and I'm not coming to see you. You have to wait till you get out. But I don't really know anyone in that space. I'm sure I know people who've been to prison, but I don't really flex with those people like that. Y'all know me and my Fab Five. If you're not really in that group, you're definitely not getting a prison visit from me, honey chill. And even if you're in that group, depending on what you did, you're not getting a prison visit from me. Ooh, I'm so full of tough love, don't you think? Oh, y'all like Sandy, you need to soften up a little bit. You're too tough. I'm, you know what? I'm actually really a softie at heart with certain things. What a mess. But yeah, we all got choices to make, honey Jill. If you can also print these and give to the okay, yeah. Okay, so let me see who might know. A few messages here. Let's see who might actually know what happens when you're released from prison. So the concern is this guy's hanging out he actually sleeps there at the bus stop. I'm guessing, it is a little bit confusing because if he doesn't have anywhere to go, I would have thought that they would have ensured that he got some application in with NAU and got all those things like sorted out. So at least he could have a place to stay. Because to me, it sounds like he's going to be headed right back to prison. Which unfortunately is the problem here, is like a revolving door for him. Oh, my apologies. Somebody said you haven't sent out the WhatsApp notifications. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Hold on. Coming right up, honey chill. Oh, did I do them this morning? Hold on now. Hold on. Oh yes, I got them ready. My apologies. Okay. Somebody's like, listen, we here and you're not sending us our messages. Okay. Yeah, so prison, can we get some sort of perhaps an explanation on how this release works? Is it that you only offer it for certain types of offenses? I would have thought again that doing it for everyone that gets out probably ensures a little bit that the chances of success once they're out, if you do a proper release program, would be higher. But of course, the prison's kind of a mess, y'all. I don't know how much y'all have been paying attention, but boy, that place, you got staff fornicating with prisoners. You got and it's happened multiple times, in fact. I don't know what it is, but the women in particular, because I don't know how many men work at the women's prison, but where I've always heard the problem lies is with the women working at the men's prison, and they are somehow attracted to jailbait. Or would they be the jailbait? But anyway, they're attracted to incarcerated men. That's an actual thing, it's a psychosis, because there are some people who are attracted to, it's like a bad boy syndrome or something. They like people who are murderers and, in prison for all sorts of horrendous things. So the crazy thing is, several of the prison staff that work in the psychiatric field, so they're supposed to be there providing psychiatric help to the prisoners. They're the ones who are falling in love with the prisoners. That is just next level crazy. It's like they need psychological help themselves, honey chill. My goodness. What a hot mess. So there's been at least one prison officer, a female officer that I knew about, who again was in a relationship with a male officer. And she got terminated from that position. And you know what is so funny is recently someone was telling me about it. And when I was checking my sources, they said, oh, this is kind of, she was fired from the prison because she was sleeping. She was falling asleep on the job. This is what the person said. And when the truth came out, she was actually having sex with a prisoner from the prison. That's why she got fired. So I checked my sources and I said, what's this all about? Apparently she's fired years ago. So this isn't actually anything new. But I think what it is she was now applying for a job at CIAA. And I guess somebody doesn't want her to get the job at CIAA. So they were kind of like, coming to me. And I was like, this is old news, honey child. Unless she's doing something like running for politics in Cayman, at this point, I'm not too concerned about who she's fornicating with. So yeah, honey chill. So yeah, there are people who sit back waiting on the links. They're like, is there no show today? Because I haven't gotten my link. Yes, there's a show, my love. We're here. So anywho, there's a lot that's happening. There's another case. I can't tell you all about this one yet. This is a police matter. Sometimes the police be getting all salty with me. You're interfering with our investigation. And certainly that is never my intent. Let me be very clear now. I might not like some of them, but I want them to get the bad guys off the streets so we can all sleep a little bit better at night, hopefully. So sometimes I know something and I'll send them some questions. And I think they kind of have figured out a little bit, but sometimes they're not figuring it out. And when I ask certain questions, I'm like, that's because I know the bigger story, why I'm asking you these questions. And there are times when they don't respond to me right away. And normally that's a sign that Sandy, detective skills are spot on. So there is a situation that's developing with a former police officer. I say former, but there's no confirmation that he's former yet. But y'all are gonna be this one is going to literally knock your socks off when I bring you this story, but I can't tell you what it is yet. Because I'm aware that an active search is happening today. I don't think that it's going to matter based on what I know about the situation, but let me give them another day or so, and then I'm going to tell y'all what I know, because this one is juicy. Honey child. Ooh, these wannabe criminals, I tell you. A hot mess. So preview part, yes. Ms. Dean says, Reen, in my neck of the woods, can hardly hear you, Sandy. What? Loud pitter patter on the roof. You must have got a zinc roof, honey child. Malachi, good morning. Wishing everybody happy morning. Siobhan says, scammers everywhere. Boy, I tell you what, it's like a professional thing now. Everton says, is Frankie that guy that his father used to have that building block factory? Well, they still do. The Flowers Group is a large company, I think, as Cayman-owned companies go. They own the brick factory. They got a water distribution plant or something, Flowers Water. And they also have, what other businesses? I think there's a few. They do the Flowers Sea Swim every single year, Everton. What else do they do? Oh, they have a security company at the airport. So that's kind of interesting. I got a lot of complaints about that side of the business, though. About the monopoly that's going on there, but hey. KK says, how can that be? Because that don't make no sense. And that's not how it's done. Well, I can't tell you. Listen, there's a lot of things around here that don't make any sense. And I can't always tell you why something is being done. But yes, I would think they would have had a better release program than that. So Northsiders, I should ask your MP this question, really. Everyone seems to know who he is in Northside. Is anything being done to help this guy, get help? I mean, what's the deal? I'll ask Minister J, who's hanging out, which Northside guy he's got hanging out. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody says they also own Cricket Square. I think that's right. Yes. For somebody guessing what I'm talking about. They're kind of in the ballpark, but I got all the details in jail. I've been investigating already. I got the deets. I'll let y'all know. So yeah, Cricket Square, I think, is for them as well. People own all sorts of businesses in Cayman. So this person says, girl, I admire you. You've got it going on. You did an excellent job at running your show. You do an excellent job at running your show. Cayman Mall Road, the truth and nothing but the truth. Ooh, honey, chill. Without fear or favor. That's how we got to operate around here. And I really do appreciate the support. Everywhere I go, people stop me. Oh, Miss Sandy, child, I got business cards now. Did I tell y'all I got business cards? I'd be like, listen, I need your help. I just have a business card. Message me later on. Now, some of y'all be messaging me all kind of odd hours. And I have to tell you, I have to put my foot down. In the evenings, if it's not like your house is on fire, literally, which you should be calling 911, not me. Don't be calling me after certain hours because I gotta focus on family time and say, oh, y'all be calling me. I need to speak to you. And it's nothing really that is a matter of life and death. Maybe to you it's important and urgent. I get it. That's how it's done. So white people call this stupid BS. I just want to hear your voice on the phone or what? KK, what? Carmelie, good morning. Aliano says the system might just be flawed. You come out and back in the next day. Well, it's unfortunate, but we do have a number of individuals who are part of it's like recidivism. It's a revolving door for them. And it's really, really unfortunate because clearly those people need a more drastic approach to rehabilitation, And I get it. When drugs are involved, it is really, really hard to get those people on the right path. Natasha, I didn't see part 2 and 3 of the documentary. No, Surviving R. Kelly. Really? There's a part 2 and 3, but he had such a prolific history that I'm not surprised at that. And he was really good at brainwashing those girls too. Everton says, I think the prison system is set up that way. As long as you complete your time, you don't have to go into a halfway house. All you have to do is wear a monitor. They just release you. They don't care where you go sometimes. Well, most of these guys are not going to be monitored even when they come out of prison. They just let them out. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult because you know what? There are legitimately people who enjoy, I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but let me put it this way. They enjoy the structure of being in prison because somebody tells them what to do. Like they don't have to think much about it, right? They're going to get 3 square meals a day at least. They probably get snacks in between. They get, access to gym and all this other stuff. So I think that there are people whose lives are kind of chaotic when they're on the outside. They don't necessarily know where their next meal is coming from. A lot of people get clean when they're in prison and they can stay clean, although we know sometimes the prison has drugs in there too. But they probably are not getting the hardcore stuff in prison. I hope not. But yes, there's some drugs in prison, but it's a much more structured existence. They get dental care. They get medical assistance if they need it. So there are some people who do well in prison. They legitimately perform extremely well. And when they come out, because that structure, isn't there, they then falter. And that's why you've got to have, in my opinion, my humble opinion, you've got to have systems in place that can help them to readjust to coming out on the inside. So, on the outside rather. So yeah, well, I'll ask some questions though, because I'll reach out to the acting prison director. By the way, how long is he going to be acting for before we actually get a permanent director? Because the other one's been gone for a minute. He was sick with cancer, poor thing. I hope he's doing all right. The prison has a deputy director who's been on leave for like 3.5 years, almost 3 years now. No resolution in sight to that. In fact, that they tried mediation and mediation went nowhere. So now it's going to go full lawsuit, full judicial review. And I think the government's going to lose their patooties on this one again. They're going to lose their bloomers again, because it's the second time they've done something to this woman, and quite embarrassingly enough. Last time they lost, and although we don't know the amounts that they pay out to people, I suspect it was millions of dollars between legal fees. That's QC. What's his name? Ben Toner. He ain't charging a cheap dime these days. Got a QC title, KC now. He's the lawyer. They got to pay her back pay for all the time that she's off. They got to pay her for stress and pain and suffering and reputational damage. And they haven't learned their lesson yet. They went after this woman, Dookie Caesar, again and didn't have their ducks in a row. So, this time they're going to be paying a pretty penny, honey, chill again. Selvin says, so why you can't sleep? Me? That's not really why I can't sleep. I can't sleep because I'll be up late working. And then last night I couldn't sleep because the dog was playing in his cage and I could hear the tinkling and the noise. And I was like, oh, Zeus, go to bed. Stop making noise. Like little things wake me up because I'm not always in that deep sleep mode. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Selvin. Siobhan says zinc roofs are awesome. They're nostalgic, really. I don't know if they're awesome, but they're definitely nostalgic. Good morning to Miss Barbara. Miss Lucille, how are you? Praying for her daughter, Lorna, with brain surgery. She was successful and I'm praying for full recovery. Oh, wow. Yes, we will definitely keep her, Miss Lucille, in our thoughts and prayers for successful recovery. So many people are going through a situation. We've got some close friends right now. The husband had a heart procedure and, we thought it was going well. And then apparently he had a stroke related to something to do with the procedure. So now they're got him admitted for a couple more days and monitoring. And it's just day by day, touch and go and see what happens. Good morning, Carrie Ann. Mass Express says it needs structuring. The prison or the prison inmates? Probably both. Yeah. So Dean says that's something I can't accept from people. You serve 12 or more hours per day and they don't think you have a life apart from being there for them. Sometimes you just got to tell people what it is. People don't always know what you got going on. They may not know how busy you are, how many people are calling you asking for help. And so you've got to set boundaries and you've got to know, how the boundaries are going to work. Good morning to Miss Bonnie joining us from East End. Siobhan says some people never learn their lessons. Well, that's unfortunate, but true. Good morning, Andrea. Canada is back to hear you. Hey, all right, my Canadian friends. Miss Sue is watching. Malachi says, Sandy, for security reasons, keep those dogs' names on a down low. Little Zeus? Like somebody's going to steal Zeus? What are we worried about here, Malachi? He's just a little shapoo. It's not like he's a security dog or anything. And trust me, he's not even recognizing his name yet. I'm thinking, Gigi said he looks like a Frank. I don't know where she gets this stuff from. She's like, he looks like a Frank. Can we name him Frank? And I was like, no, he kind of already has a name. He just has to get used to it. So he's not quite responding to his name yet. I got to tell you all the biggest joke, right? One of the first words that my daughter spoke very, very clearly was Coco. And I figured she must have heard that name so many times because I was always, Coco, don't do this. Coco, don't do that. So one day she sat up in bed. I was actually in the back and my husband recorded it and sent it to me. Could not believe it. She sat up and pointed at Coco and said, she wasn't even one yet, pointed at Coco and said, Coco. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just calling that dog's name too much. So we actually have a recording of her saying it. It's just so funny. Just the cutest little thing ever. Yeah. Oh, kids. All right. Daisy's in the house. Hello, Daisy. How are you? Josephina's here. Wishing everyone a blessed day. We're waiting on our guests to come on. Miss Dean says these dogs are very, very alert. Well, this one, he's been getting better with the potty training, had a little accident yesterday, so it's going to take some time. But we kind of know when he's got to go to, like first thing in the mornings, you got to get him outside, honey child. He's been holding it for a couple hours at night. He's like, gotta go. Let's go outside right now. But my husband the other day did something so funny. So we have him in the crate. So I said, okay, put him in the crate because they want to have him run all over the house. And next thing you know, you find a surprise in the hallway, a lump of a surprise. I'm like, no, put him away. So he put him in the cage, and next thing I know, I see the dog by my foot, and I said, "Didn't I just say to put him away?" And he said, "Wait a minute, do we have 2 dogs now? Because I just put him in his cage." Well, there's 2 entrances to the cage: side entrance, front entrance. The dog realized that one entrance that he was put in and locked, the other entrance was open. He just pushed it open and walked right out. I'm like, you see, this 14-week puppy is smarter than you. Put the dog back in. Oh my gosh, just so funny. What a hot mess. All right. I think it's the police that he's referring to. Oh, the police with my name? But the police are gonna come steal my dog? I'm not understanding. I'm not sure I'm understanding. Well, I hope they're not interested in stealing my dog. I don't think they want a cute little dog, but you never know. Okay, honey chow. All right, our guest is trying to get in. Yes. Okay. All right, y'all ready? Let's do it. Buenos dias.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Not too bad, honey chow. Welcome to the Cold Hard Truth.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you reached out to us a couple days ago, and you said you're having a situation.
Yeah.
Tell us. Okay, let's start at the beginning here. Just trying to adjust this. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, so back in, I believe it was February, there were some killings in the area that I live in. My daughters live in Jamaica.
Okay.
My sister had to go there to ask someone to keep them. I believe she went like the 1st of April, February, March. So, right? He asked a friend of hers to keep them for me because I couldn't get to go to Jamaica because of work. So she went there and she had someone to keep them. Fine.
Okay.
So
you live and work in Cayman.
Yes.
And you have children in Jamaica.
Yes.
How old are your kids?
My first daughter is 14 and the second one, she's 10.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So you're a bit concerned because of an increase in violent crime in the area that you guys live.
Yes, exactly. So I had to take them because the lady who they were staying with now, it turns out that they're threatening her life, her son's life, and they had to run away from where they live, right?
What?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. So I got depressed, stressed out, and all of that because I don't know what to do with them. And then, like, I'm their mother. The only thing I have to do is try to take them where I am, right? Because they're my kids. I have no choice.
Right.
So they came the 7th of April. I even got them doing online school. I paid for their classes, stuff like that. So when they're home, they're going to school, right? I went to George. They came the 7th of April. Their time at immigration finished the 7th of May. I went to George, I believe.
Now, who's George? You got to tell people.
George,
listening.
sorry, George Banks, guys. The notary,
Okay.
George Banks.
All right. So George Banks, yes, you went to him. Now, how did you find out about George?
I used to work at a salon back in the days because I've been here for probably like 10 years straight now, right? I've been married for 7 years. And I knew George because I used to work at a salon and he was a client of my boss because he used to come there to get his hair done and stuff like that. So I know that that's the type of work that he does. I reached out to him. I even went to his office with my daughters and I tell him what the situation is. I had the news article printed off, to back up my story to prove that, it's not a lie, it's true. And this is the situation back in Jamaica where they live. I brought everything to him, okay, and he said it was $500. I said, fine. I sent my daughter to the ATM to get the money. She came back. I I paid him the $500. He said $100 for
Now,
his
what sort of
processing.
just 1 second. What sort of application were you having him put in for you?
I was putting them on my residency, so they would have been my dependents.
Okay, so you have, when you say residency, is that RERC or what is it that you have?
Yes, I
So
have
you're married to
RERC.
Cayman.
Yes, mom.
Okay. All right. So you can add dependents onto that.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right.
So
Oh, he told you it's $500.
Yeah, he told me it's $500. I sent my daughter to get the $500 from the ATM. She came back. He said $100 for his processing fee, but because of the amount, the limited amount that I can use from my card on a daily basis, I say, okay, I'll come back and I'll give you the $100 once you drop these paperwork in. He said, fine, no rush, Allison. Okay, I know you and whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, fine,
So
whatever.
the $500 is what government charges to add someone to RERC?
Yes, mom.
Okay.
He got all the paperwork, he got the money and whatever. So 2 weeks after, I say, it just run on my mind. So I say, let me call immigration to see what's going on. And
So 2 weeks, did he say to you at any time during that time that, okay, it's been submitted?
No.
He didn't say anything to you?
Nothing at all. No communication, nothing at all, right?
Okay.
So I say, let me just call immigration to check on this thing.
Yeah.
I call him and I say, I spoke with a lady. She was really nice. And I say, I'm just trying to check up on a residency application for my daughters. So she asked me what my name was. And I told her my name. She said, miss, I don't see anything in the system for your children or anything, any application beat. I didn't honor your name. So I was at work and I'm like, this must be a mistake because he said he would have put it in the following day. I was there on a Thursday because I
Oh,
was
somebody's asking if you got a receipt for the $500.
No, hear what he was telling me.
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
yes, I do. I do have a receipt for my $500.
Okay.
I do. So I called him that same day and I was talking to him and he was like, Allison, I asked him for what I did was I asked him for the receipt. I didn't let him know that I called immigration or anything. I just asked him for the receipt to have so that I could show them at immigration when I go to apply for time for the girls. So he said because he had put in more than one application for that day, he did not get a receipt for it and stuff like that. So I'm like,
you know that don't make no sense, right?
Exactly. I was thinking about it and I'm like, there's no way that you're going to leave documents at immigration without a receipt. What if something goes
And in
wrong?
fact, let me just pause you there for 1 second. And I want people to listen very, very carefully. When people tell you things, you have to be able to pick sense from nonsense. All government departments, when you pay money, whether you pay cash, a check, some of them take debit and credit cards, they have got to provide you with a receipt by law. You can't walk out of there not having gotten a receipt for that transaction. So even for these immigration consultant services, right, when they're going with a batch of applications, the intake, officer, whatever you want to call them, sitting behind a register, they log every single application when it's received. So it's not like, oh, I have a batch of 20 applications and they don't know which 20 applications came in. They just took one check for all of them. They might be able to take a single payment. That might be possible. But you would still get an individual receipt and printout for each application because they're treating each application separately. Because it might be 10 different people and 10 different types of applications. So they'll look at each one, go through quickly the checklist, make sure it's all there, and then log that one in the system, the time that it was received. I mean, Immigration WORC is a proper government agency. So this is not a fly-by-night operation. So you did find it strange when he said to you that he didn't get a receipt from immigration, from government.
Exactly. I just sent you pictures of the receipt that I got from him.
Okay. Yes, I see it here.
Yes.
He paid you. You paid $500, and he has on there 4 RERC.
Yes.
Okay. And then he actually sent you like a little invoice from his company, $600, but you paid 500, balance $100.
Yes.
Equal to 26. I see that there. Yeah.
All right. So I asked him for the receipt. He was like, because of the batch that he put in, he didn't have a receipt to give me or whatever. So as a mother, I know something was wrong, but based on work and I have to deal with people on a daily basis, I really did not want to think about it that much for it to put me in a stress level where I become aggressive or stressed that I can't really concentrate on my work properly. So I went to immigration. I call him a few times. First thing he starts to tell me his rent is due. He needs to pay his rent because of people like me not paying my bills on time. His landlord putting him out. And I was like, but George, this has nothing to do with me. I paid you to get this application in, right? And I'm calling you to let you know that I have the balance of your money to give to you. And he start going off and effing this and that and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, I hung up the phone because
He was cursing. He was cursing you out.
yes, like almost every single time I call him, he cursed me out. So I hang up the phone on him and I say, I just want to let it rest for today, right? I call him back again. I say, George, I'm going to immigration. I'm going to look time for the kids, right? He said, the Monday was a holiday. So I had to go on the Tuesday. I call him. I call him the Monday and I say, listen, I'm going to immigration tomorrow. I need the receipt. I need something to show them that this application is in because I know they're not going to give them the time without the application being in, right? And it's worth its school time. He said to me he has some stuff to deal with, but Tuesday, like after 1 o'clock, he'll go there, drop the papers off, and I should go and apply for the time like around 3 o'clock or whatever, so they'll be able to see it in the system. I say, fine, okay, no problem. When I went there, I went to this really nice lady as well. I spoke with her, gave her the passports and everything. I showed her my bank statement, everything, right? So the lady say, I don't see nothing in the system. So I say, miss, what you mean? She said, I don't see nothing in the system. The only thing I see in the system is that you're on RERC. And she told me even the last person that had my work permit. So I say, miss, what you saying? Because George showed me he did this thing this morning. And she was like, no, baby, nothing not in there. She said, you need to call George. I stand up and I start shaking because I'm like I even said to the lady, miss, I don't even know what to think. I don't even know what to say to you right now. She said, well, baby, you go and sort out what you have to sort out today and come back to me tomorrow morning with everything, right? She said, and you need to go and speak to George too because you need to know what is going on. I say, miss, I tell her I really appreciate it. And I went to George and I called him. He didn't answer. So I say, George, at this point, I just, even if you give me the application with the cover letter and the stuff that you did, just give it to me. I'll find the money to pay for it and whatever it is. And then you can pay me back on a later date. I don't have a problem with that. I just need this application to go in for my kids. He started cussing and he's meeting with a lawyer in the morning and he can't deal with that right now and he's under a lot of stress and he's dealing with some contract up in East End and he's been in East End for the past 2 weeks and all kind of stuff to the point where I block out because I'm like, how can you do this? Not even to me, but
Mhm.
to children.
Yeah. And did you explain to him, I mean, all applications, if somebody says they're going to put in an application for you, are important, but did you explain to him the urgency of your particular situation with your kids?
Yes, that's why I even took the news article to him because I printed them off at work. My sister even sent one to me and I printed them off at work Sunday. I took them to him. Every single thing I took to him. I did a cover letter for myself. Me and my husband signed that cover letter. He said that he will do a better cover letter to back it up and whatever. I say, fine, I just need this thing to be done because they have nowhere to go in Jamaica, right? He said, yeah, man, I get it done for you and whatever, whatever. I say, fine. Because I can't believe that if it was for me, I could understand. But he has children too. And there's no way that I explained the situation to you and you're still doing this to me. Not even me, but my kids. You're doing this to my children. What am I going to do with them now?
Wow.
When I went back on Friday, because when I went back to the lady, I spoke with this gentleman. The man said to me not to let him know that I get time for the kids because if I don't pressure him, he's not going to. He
This is the
might not
people
do
at
it.
WRC telling you this.
Yeah, the
Wow.
the
It sounds
the
like they
guy
know him.
exactly, and I'm like, the lady was when I went to the lady the first time that told me to come back the next day. She was laughing because she shook her head because she was like, like why people still going to this man? She probably said
And let me ask you a question because that same question just came in from a listener. They said, why are people still doing business with him? So let me ask you, because based on the timing, you said this was around the 24th of last month, the
yeah.
same time that he was being featured on this show for other stuff in relation to his immigration consultancy business and a
Oh
victim.
my goodness.
You didn't hear about it?
No.
Oh, because he could find money to send to some woman in Jamaica she is an employee of one of his clients, and he's supposed to be taking out a work permit for her from last year. And he was spending money on her, trying to get in her panties, and trying to impress her. So while he's complaining about he can't pay his rent and do all these other things, he is taking your money and doing what with it?
Oh my goodness. I didn't know.
The woman sent us all the chat logs, and she said that she just wanted to warn people, especially women out there, to be careful with him. But it seems like it's not just in that regard that people, based on what you're now saying and others have said, that people also need to be mindful of engaging him for his services because he might not put in your application, even if your children's lives depend on it. And this is a really sad situation because as a mother, I can sympathize with if you're trying to get your kids out of a bad situation, what this must feel like. I mean, this can't be a good situation that you're finding yourself in.
It like I don't it's not. And then if I have to send them back to Jamaica, I have to go back too because there's no one there to protect them. Like no one. My family is here. Right? Um he in one of the screenshots of the messages that I
Well,
sent
let's look
you.
at the messages. So we got some receipts here, some
Yeah.
screenshots. Let's go ahead and bring those up this morning. So we'll start with the first one. This is the first screenshot. And this one says, we see his name up at the top. He says, I'm at immigration now. I think it's best you just give me the paperwork and let me drop them off. That's him talking?
No, that's me asking him back for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will find the $500 and pay for it. Just give me the paper. So at this point now, you're already fed up and you were saying, just give me the documents at least
Yes.
so that I can submit those. He
Yes.
replies and says, I can do it. Let me do the cover letter then, but I can't do that till next hour. So at that point, how long was this after you'd given him everything?
This was last week when I went to immigration.
And he still
Last
hadn't
week?
even done the cover letter?
Yeah, this was when I went to immigration the other day. Yeah.
So then you say I'm alone at home until the 30th of May. Wife
No.
helper. Oh no, that's him saying that. Sorry.
Yes, that's him.
Oh, he's complaining now that the wife is
Yeah.
away. Helper
Mhm.
plus 3 of them. BFF gone to St. Anne's Bay in Jamaica on 2 weeks vacation. So he's complaining that his wife is taking a 2 weeks vacation and somehow that's impacting your business.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Because he's not able to do his job
Yes, because
because
his
his
wife
wife
is gone.
is on vacation.
Yes.
So the wife can go on vacation, leave him with the kids, and she's gone off with 3 of her best friends. So I don't know if I believe that, but okay. Then he says, "Can you not come stay, house sit at my place for a weekend at least? Bring my girls." This is him asking you that?
Yes, to bring my girls with me
What?
to his house.
Wait. Pump the brakes and back the hell up.
Yeah.
This man is asking you
Yes.
to bring your children and come and stay with him?
Mm-hmm.
What? Say what? What did you think when you saw that? That is creepy. Why would he be saying that?
Like,
Once again, you're engaging his services.
exactly. Like, that was Sunday. Honestly, I was at work and I didn't even know what to reply to this man. All I'm asking him for is to just give me the papers. That's all I need. Just give me the papers. Let me drop them off. I don't care how.
So he
What?
wants you to house sit at his place for a weekend and bring your girls. Ew. That is all kind of creepy. So you respond, if you told me to use the money and now if you told me use the money and now you don't have it, I would understand, but you keep lying that you're going to do it and you know you ain't got the money. So at this point you're not convinced. And then when he says to you about staying at his place, you say no, George.
Yeah. Like,
My
no.
God, this man is something else. And then he replies and says, "Okay, I will have it sorted out." And he says, "Okay" to your "no, George" response. And then is this him saying life is like that sometimes with me?
Yeah. Like, what does that have to do with me?
Not running a very professional business. So he says, by next week, I'll be back in cash. I'll get it done. And you're saying, George, I just need the papers. He says, okay. And you say, thank you. I can give you them with my cover letter, though. Okay, just wait on that. Oh my goodness. And then is this you saying, okay, they don't give me no time, George, and you have the crying emoji, and he says, what? I
Yes.
thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, that's when I was at immigration. And the guy had told me not to tell him that I got time for the kids. Yeah.
Because then he would not have so you're trying to make it super urgent. So then
Yes.
he says, you say, no, they won't give me no time. I was there waiting. What am I going to do now? He says, I will show you on Monday. So this was like a Friday or something?
Yes. And it was supposed to be Monday of this week that he was supposed to show me.
So
Yeah.
I will show you and you can take it from me. Your daughter's not going down to Jamaica on Monday at least. I will show you I've handled, or I guess I meant handled, worse cases than yours and got time. So he's making all kind of promises.
Yeah.
And
And so,
you say, I don't need time. I need the application to go in.
yeah, that's all. Miss Sandra, if he had given me, just to me, say, come and get the papers, I would have paid for it and I would have put it in. Just tell me you use the money and you'll probably just give it to me piece by piece or on a later date. Just give me the papers. That's all I asking for. Just give me the papers. He going to tell me about human rights and human rights this and this and that and whatever it is, and they can't send them back to Jamaica. Like, I'm not asking you about human rights, nothing at all. This is when I called him when I was at work. He telling me about human rights. I don't care about human rights. I just need to have something put in for these kids. This is immigration. This is law. I don't care about that. I mean, yes, that's good, but that's not what I want.
Wow. So then he says, okay, well, I'm at CBC now. sorting out a crisis for a staff member of a client. I doubt I'll be back till 4 p.m. You say, yeah, it's always other people. When I gave you my money to do this for my kids, you're acting like I'm begging you. I gave you my money, George. It's for my children, and you're doing this. You have kids. You can understand how important this is to me. I can't believe this. It's almost a month now. And then he comes back and says, I will sort you out shortly, but all I'm dealing with lately is crises upon crises. Nothing, not yours, okay? Because Mia caused that somewhat. Okay, I think the whole thing's your fault, really. But anyway, then he says, trust me, I do. When you're responding to the fact that where you said, you should understand how this feels. He says, trust me, I do, and I will sort it out. I tell you it will not happen on Monday. Did they ask you, or did you sign a piece of paper at immigration? What is that all about? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part either.
And then you say, I don't care about that. It's been 4 weeks now, George. So this is when he's talking about he's got a crisis after crisis. You tell him straight up that you don't care. You just want your business sorted out.
Yeah.
And then he says, just some patience. I've been out in East End mostly every day since about 3 weeks ago. So it's all these excuses. I mean, this is crazy.
Exactly.
Working only a few hours from my office, need the money to pay rent, home expenses, CUC, and everything else. I will sort you out by Monday. And then you say Monday, double exclamation point. Okay. And then you come back now on the Thursday. Is this the Thursday after?
The 4th? When was the 4th?
When was the 4th? Oh my gosh. That was almost, the 4th was almost a month ago. But this is what you say to him. What is wrong with you, man? I have to tell immigration to find out if you dropped the paperwork off. So this might be an earlier message. And you didn't do it. I paid you my money, and I told you when I paid you, and you agreed. George, please don't let me have to come look for you with police today. And with all these text messages from you, and I'm dead serious. He says, I'm so surprised at your totally unnecessary threats and action today. The application to add your other 3 children to your RERC is a very technical filing. Well, that's what you're paying him to do, right? Because he's supposed to be the expert.
Exactly.
What does he mean? It's a technical filing.
I could have done it myself. I should have done it myself.
Mm-hmm. And then he goes on to say the cover letter alone will take in excess of 1.5 hours to do. A cover letter?
Yeah.
He must be don't know you could write that with artificial intelligence in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Anyway, and he says, and I do my work properly and take it very serious. You really surprised me, Allison, really surprised me. But watch me come to your workplace soon and royally embarrass you. Watch, wait for it. And you say, continue. Okay. What are you thinking when this man is basically threatening you that he's going to come to your workplace and embarrass you?
Honestly, it didn't faze me because at this point I'm not afraid. So the only thing you can do is probably threaten my job. But at the end of the day, I have my receipts to show that you're the one who is provoking me because I asked you to do a service for me. I paid you to do a service for me, and this is what you.
This dude is unbelievable. So then he says your application will go in tomorrow ahead of you at the time. Let me see what the next one says here. Ahead of you at the time you can come to visit me and give me the project. What is this now? What is he talking about? You came to visit me the project last week, Friday, April the 27th. Well, you came after 4 or 5 p.m. on the 26th, so technically Friday. Okay. That is only 5 days in total. Ahead of you on my desk was 12 other client urgent pending files with work to be done for them. Plus, they paid me on time and paid in full. Well, he got so many money problems of people paying him on time and paying in full. You paid $500 on my invoice of $600 after receiving a $200 discount on my normal fees of $300.
Yeah,
No
I never
other
asked.
professional agency would have started, I repeat, even started your project without payment in full. So you can count yourself as lucky. Wow.
I didn't ask for it. I did not. You offered it. Fine, whatever. I have my receipt to show I did not ask for it. He
Wow.
keeps calling me.
He's calling you now?
Yeah, he been calling me. Like
Oh,
I'm supposed to be afraid. I'm not afraid. Like you can do whatever it is that you want to do. I It was never about the money for me when I called immigration 2 weeks after I paid you gave him the money to do the application. It was never about the money for me. All I wanted and all I've been asking for was the paperwork. That's all. And at this point I have to just do it myself. I don't even know how the news article would stand up against it right now.
George is calling you this morning?
Yeah, he called me. No, he's calling me. He was calling me. No, I just had to go into my call log to block his number. He called me 4 times since 8:39. 5 times actually.
Okay, well let's call him. Sometimes, depending on the mood he's in.
He called me once on WhatsApp too.
Sometimes he doesn't want to answer the phone. I think he has a new number. The last time he was messaging me from some other number, so I'm not sure. WhatsApp me which number he's calling you from, because I know he's got a couple numbers. So send me the current number that he's using, because I don't know which one he's using. Last time he was messaging me about lunch from a different number, so I don't know. But I mean, this is so bizarre because this man is offering to take me to lunch, and I don't need him to take me to lunch, and all this kind of stuff. How is it that he's doing all these things? Doesn't sound like he's managing his money well. He's claiming he's got a desk full of applications, so it sounds like he's making money if you're to believe him. So what appears to be the issue?
He said, "Oh, he called me 5 times on WhatsApp. He said I have 4 NBRS. What is that?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You have reached the voicemail box of.
He's sending that to voicemail, but he called you 5-6 times. What does he say? He has what? MBRS?
Yeah, NBRS.
What is that?
Like he deleted it. I don't know. The $100 that I balanced him, he had called me or messaged me, I think, saying that we should go to lunch and have drinks, and that it not supposed to be nowhere expensive or too expensive, and the $100 that I owe him, I must use that to pay for it.
NBRS stands for numbers. The listener said that's the abbreviation for numbers. NBRS. Oh, okay. So he's saying he has 4 numbers?
Yeah.
You have reached the voicemail box.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
3, 4, 5,
I have
5,
no
1.
idea.
So he has 4 numbers, and we're gonna have to call all 4 because he's not answering the Lord Jesus, peace. So the same time he's claiming that you owe him $100, he's also saying to you, "Let's go and have lunch and drinks."
Yeah.
No, sir.
Somebody says you need permission to call.
Yeah, because he kept the last time I called him. Well, he can call me, but he can call me without permission. But apparently, I can't call him. What a hot mess, George. Help yourself out here. Explain this foolishness, because this is not good for business.
I think I called him yesterday. Was it yesterday I called him, or the day before? No, the day before when I was at work. And he said to me, I said, "George, I can come pick up the papers." Because, Sandra, all I defended is the papers, you know. I said, "I can come pick up the papers." He said, because I have work at 1. He said, when ex-divorce lawyer come into my office at 11 o'clock, and we going into a meeting about a divorce case that I have and stuff like that. So
he has a divorce case?
Yes.
Like he's divorcing someone?
Apparently.
So he's
So
supposed to be happily married.
that's what I thought. So I say, so I can't get your secretary can't just come to the door and give me the papers. No, Allison, I effing busy. What is wrong with you? I tell you, see this man coming to me, and I must stop my meeting to come to the door to give you papers, huh? And I just hung up in it because I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I don't know what could I possibly do to this man.
That's
And you know, the sad thing is what I was looking at too, I was like, if it was $100 that I had that I supposed to pay him, right? He never brought that $100 up at no time. And I don't want to go to his office. So I say I would have just transferred the drama. I have a client with a divorce, not me. I am happily married, child.
So he's messaging you as we speak. But
Yes.
George, just answer the phone.
Oh my goodness.
Just answer the phone. I mean, you got enough mouth and cursing people out when you're ready. You're not gonna curse on this show here today, but just answer the phone if you want to set the record straight. All right, so I found the receipts interesting. I'm just pulling them up, but I wanted to extract your name from it.
Yeah.
So this receipt now that he's provided, he gives you a discount, he said, on his usual fees. And it says on here, let me show people. He says on here that this is a, I don't know if people can see it, but it says he gives you a discount for a friend. What would you say, friend discount? The two of you were friends before this?
Let me see.
It says special, okay, my professional fees, $300, less special discount granted, long-term friend in brackets. The two of you were long-term friends in brackets?
No, sir.
$200. That's why he gave you that discount, because the two of you are long-term friends.
Okay.
But you're paying for professional service, so you're not into no friend business.
Exactly. Like, if I was into friend business, I would have come back this man to do this thing for me. I would have been on so many dates with this man. Like,
his motto on the receipt, it says motto, outstanding service at an affordable price. But you're saying the service has not been outstanding from your experience.
No.
Lord Jehovah. All right, let's see what some of our listeners are having to say about the situation. Great Escape says, I told you others will come out. God and time. Hot mess. Siobhan says, nasty, yo. Perla says, there's so many agencies in Cayman that are doing this type of job instead of going to immigration. But I know some are honest, but this guy needs to go to court. Moya says, what is disturbing is the fact that she was going through the proper channels and went to someone whose business is for immigration services. Is very disheartening. She wasn't trying to go through no back channels and scam the system. She was doing it legitimately.
Exactly.
So Alejandro says, still there on the move. I don't even know what that means. Everton says, but look, I live in a foreign country and I would never do business with George. How many times people in CMR are talking about this guy, George, and others, and you people is still doing business with these guys? I don't get it. If they can't revoke their license, yet they cannot practice any business, what kind of law you guys have? This is ridiculous. It's a good question, Everton, because the problem here in Cayman is there does not appear to be any legislation whatsoever, and this is a much bigger problem, that gives DCI the power and the board to not issue a business license based on poor business practices. So he will always, we see this all the time. Even the guy who was scamming people with the shutter, Garfield Rob, right? DCI was still giving him a business license despite knowing the fact that they had received numerous complaints that he had taken people's money and never installed shutters. They're going to tell you, oh, it's a civil matter, or if it's a criminal matter. Well, now he's in criminal court to have, his waiting his sentencing or waiting a verdict, I should say. But the system seems ill-equipped to deal with, I don't know what kind of enforcement we have here when it comes to business licenses. So Richard is asking the same question. Sandra, please explain why people need to use his services. Why can't they give the application directly to immigration? Well, people
I regret doing it.
Yeah, I mean, people can, Richard, but sometimes people don't have the requisite knowledge. they might think, okay, I'm not going to write a cover letter as professionally as, somebody else who does this every single day. He knows the system. It should be easier.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I went to him, because I'm saying, like, maybe my cover letter might not stand up good enough for me.
Yeah.
You
You
to
hire
bring my case
professional
off.
because you think that they have the skills to get it done quicker and better than you. So
Exactly.
Perla says, OMG, George, and he goes to church every Sunday. Nah, man, something wrong here. It smells fishy. Blackberry says he's putting in multiple applications at the same time is irrelevant. He took $500 from her. He should have given her her own receipt from his company. And on top of that, after he submitted the application batch, he should have given her a copy of the receipt for those as well. Immigration will take a single check for multiple applications, yes, but you would still be getting an individual receipt.
Yes.
Siobhan says this man needs to be thrown so far under the bus and the key melted. Why does he do this?
Because Sandra, I had went there, probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago and called the police on him, and he gave the police the same lying story. He even told the police that he was sick for a few days in the hospital, and that's why he didn't. Yes, I did call the police, and I went there and I stood there, and he locked the door in my face and tell the police officer that I can't come inside of his place.
Where's his office located?
What's the plaza? You see the plaza where Victoria's Secret is in town?
Yes.
Yeah, Cardinal Avenue. His office is upstairs.
Okay. And that's not a cheap place to have an office, first of all. So if he can't afford rent, I mean, he should probably look at another location.
Yeah, or maybe even work from home.
Services, says that he's Wiccan. Keisha Gordon says, what? OMG. That's like people are in such a state of disbelief. Vernita says, didn't she say she's married to Caymanian? Doesn't she have rights to her family as being married to Caymanian? Just asking. Yes, Vernita, but you still have to apply and immigration has to prove it. So she can add people, I guess, onto her RERC, but it's not something that's automatic. No, sir. This man is not at all. And then wanting to take you out for the drinks and you must come and spend the weekend at his house. I mean, do you guys have that kind of relationship?
No. Like, I'm not even looking at this man. Oh God.
But don't you have a husband? How are you gonna tell your husband you're going to George's house for the weekend with your children?
Much nice. My husband picks me up from work in the evenings. How am I going to tell this man? Say, babe, I'm going to have drinks. I don't even keep friends like that to look at this man and tell this man, say, babe, I'm going to have drinks tonight with some friend, whatever it is. It's me, my husband, and my kids. So why going to tell my husband? Say,
Siobhan says, ew, not something. Nah, something needs to be done about George because this is past creepy and nasty. Aliana says, when you dig past the surface of some people, outward, imagine what we truly be surprised at the actual you uncover. Lord have mercy. Dean says, caller, lessons and blessings. Also, the cohort truth are giving out the CMR Mondays to Fridays. Knowledge is power. So don't miss out, even for a day. Sorry to hear your dilemma, love, but please don't miss another class of the cohort truth because she's saying that had you listened to us, you would have known better.
I promise not to miss another one.
You would have known better.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Siobhan says a month and still no dice. WTF cares about things you're going through. If someone pays you to do a service, do the job. Taking people's money and not delivering scum. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. Olive says, is this man serious? So I don't know why he's not answering the phone, but he's messaging you this morning. Devon says he's probably listening to the show. I guess so. Blackberry says, what a word. He shouldn't have taken her business since he was so busy with other urgent applications. Yeah, I'm really surprised at the way in which he responds to people. Like most people would humble themselves and apologize. And this man is just full of excuses from, oh, the wife abandoned him. And, he is on his own with kids. Oh, he's trying to find rent money. He's got more urgent applications. As Blackberry said, if he had more urgent applications and he already had too much work that he couldn't manage, why take your work? Like, why?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense.
And I was at the office with him. He could have even do the cover letter because I was there with him with my girls, right? And I brought the documents that he needed. If he was so busy, right? Still charge me the $100. Let me give you the $100, right? Just do the cover letter and give it to me. Just do the cover letter and give it to me. Because I believe it was like 2 or 3 months ago, I went to him and he applied for my son acknowledgement paper, and he did it, and I got it back in like a week time. Right? So I honestly wasn't expecting this from him. I wasn't.
Kayla says George is sick. Every woman he does business with, he flirts with them. Perla says he want a side chick, but he want to take you for lunch and drinks. Disgusting. Vanessa says, come on, George. I need free drinks and food too. Vanessa, your boyfriend would fix both you and George. She said she's signing up Cece. She said her and Cece taking free lunches and drinks. No, honey child. Miss Amelia would fix Cece.
They would still have to pay for half of it anyways.
Maybe he got the women paying for that. Maybe that's why he wanted me to do it so I could pay for him. I don't know. But this is a hot mess. I mean, in a way it's funny, but in a way it's not. This is supposed to be a business. You know what I'm saying? Your children's lives, as you have said, are at risk. This is really not a cute situation. All right, folks, let's take a few calls. 936-2626. What do you guys make of this? This sounds crazy to me. Moya says she doesn't know how it's not affecting his certificate of good standing with the register of companies. Well, Moya, let me clarify something. You only get a certificate of good standing if you are actually a registered company. We don't know. I'll check his business license here in a second, but he could be a trading as entity, which means that there would be no certificate of good standing. And to be very clear, this is really, really important here because the remit of this program, folks, is to educate all of you, right? A certificate of good standing only says that for the purposes of the registrar that you are paid up with your respective fees. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not you're a good business person. And so I think that needs to be clarified, because the one thing that is very, very evident here, folks, is we have no consumer protection in this country. And this now is where the tire is meeting the road and where all of this is very, very concerning, right? Somebody like George takes your hard-earned money, doesn't deliver services, does you wrong. You have no recourse other than to take them to court. And most people are afraid of the court system. They don't know how to do it. That's why this woman's reaching out to us, because she's like, even if I take him to court, this is going to take forever for me to try to get through the court system. And I just want my money. Like, I just want this guy to give me my not even money. She said, just give me my documents back so I can get it done. Because a lot of times in immigration, you have to submit original documents. Wow. Stacy says he's mad because you never go lunch with him. Plus, you never bring your kids to his house. A lot more George here. Trust and know a couple of them.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's see what kind of business license George has. Siobhan says he's always trying to take women out. Curtis said, why did she take the $200 friend discount? Did he tell you when you were engaging his services that he was giving you this discount?
No, and his secretary is the one who
wrote the paper.
Yes, but apparently when I call him, was it Monday? When I call him in a week, he said
we got a caller. 1 second. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello, caller. You got to turn down your background radio.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Every time I visit from Toronto, there's always an interesting topic. And it's sad that Cayman doesn't have legislation to protect the vulnerable.
Exactly.
You have individuals such as yourself that can give legal guidelines, but what about the really unfortunate that doesn't know the navigation of the system that, you know what, I need to do this. And it leaves individuals such as this young lady. Thankfully, she has great support where she, and you have good employees at the immigration that give her the direction. What if others don't have the knowledge to pursue such to pursue such dilemmas?
Yes.
I think somebody needs to nip George. George needs to nip his little willy that he's flaunting like it's champagne. He needs to do something. Like, he needs to stop entertaining women if you can't afford it.
Yeah.
If you can't, your wife is on vacation with 3 best friends.
Listen,
clearly
business
he can
is
afford
business,
something.
right? Like he needs to, it seems like he has a difficult time separating business from pleasure. Like, I don't understand what he does, how he uses his business to every woman that he comes in contact with. He always wanted to take them out for drinks and dinner, inviting them for a weekend at your house. This woman is saying that she does not have that kind of relationship with George. I can't imagine.
I think George is in his head.
Oh my God.
George is in the wrong head, and George is using his business as a ploy to get individuals to come in. And I think that lady was very smart. Alice, you were very smart to not go to his office. He's very intentional. You can see the outside, but like the individual who said you don't know if you should pull away the shit show, you won't see what's going on in there. So you know what? George needs to stop thinking with the wrong anatomy and think with the one that God didn't, because you know what? He has children, and he's putting those children at risk by the dirty games that he plays with individuals. These are people's lives. And George, if you're listening, I promise you will fall on the same sword that you're setting up for others.
That's true.
Yes, very true. Thank you, caller. I appreciate the call.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, this is really alarming. Like, you shouldn't be operating a business like this. But like I was saying, there's nothing in Cayman to protect people here. There is no Better Business Bureau. There is, none of that exists. So I'm having a look. Let me just pull up the licensing. And I keep telling you all, one of the things I want you guys to do, it doesn't really give you a lot to go off of, but I guess something's better than nothing. You can always check to see if someone has a business license, but we need somebody to start some equivalent agency as a Better Business Bureau. Let me see now, George Ebanks. Let's see if we can find him. Somebody has to start some sort of Better Business Bureau. So I don't see him on here as his name. So let me see what the company, let's see what the receipt was in again. Let me have a look at your receipt and see if we can pull up what's on the receipt. So he says here, what's the name of the company? George something Consultants. Because there's a possibility that, I hope this isn't true. I hope he's got a business license, but who knows? We don't even know. This is, oh gosh. There's so many failings. Okay, so it's George Ebanks Consulting and Bookkeeping. So something should have come up by me searching George Ebanks if he has a business license. So let me look again. Let me look for consultancy. Okay. Oh God, there's like a ton of those. So there's 73 results, but let's go through them because he's got to be in here somewhere. So we've got Angelique, APEG, Artemis, okay. Human Resource Consultancy Services, Caribbean, statutory, So George Ebanks Consultancy, he's using his name in the business, so we should be able to find it. Emily, First Alliance Group, George. So we have Grace.
He said, "What happened?" He said to me, he just messaged me and said, "Why are you doing this today?"
So I don't see a George Ebanks Consultancy business license on this list at all. So Georgetown Estates, Georgetown Financial, Georgetown Yacht Club, George Wilkes Trading as George Ann. I don't see George. Oh, here we go. Is this him? No, George R. Ebanks. I think that's another George. Trading as Cloud UI, graphic and web design. Oh, here we are. George R. Oh, he's George R. Ebanks. Oh, okay. Is this him? Is he George R. Ebanks? Does anybody know what his middle name is? I don't want to. Oh, yes, this is him.
Yes, I think that's him.
Ah, okay, this is him. Well, George has a number of businesses.
Yeah, he says he
didn't know
has.
he had so many businesses. So hold on.
I have
So we have. Okay, y'all, we got him now. I guess because the R wasn't in there. That's why you gotta kind of do a little bit of a deeper cursory look. Okay, so this is what we got. Hold on, folks. I got it now.
Hold on, Sandy. He said he messaged me and say, "Why are you doing this today?" Wow. I say, "Sir, because you're lying." He said to me, "I have a company and a trade license." I say, "I need the paperwork."
So apparently, he has more than one. George has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 companies. So it's George R. Ebanks Limited. So he actually has, according to him, a limited company, and I guess he would have a limited company. So DCI should accept that. Trading as George's Quick Foreign Language Translations, Business Consulting and Immigration, Early Childhood Books. George's trading as Jorge's Home, Wood, Blinds, and more. I didn't know he had so many businesses. Quick U.S. tax returns. Cayman's #1 debt collections agency.
Wow.
He's trading as Cayman's #1 debt collection agency. Wow. And trading as Cloud UI, doing web design. What does George know about web design? What the heck? Okay, so this is interesting. So he does debt collection, tax filing, and preparation agent. Crichton Office Suites 256 Crew Road is where he has his business at, but that's not actually where he's located.
Mm-hmm.
He's in town, so he's no longer at Crichton Properties. Home improvement consultant, business consultant, retailer for books, and he does foreign language documents translations. Huh. So he's got enough businesses here that I'm surprised he's claiming that he still has money issues. What is going on?
Just lies. Just lies.
Someone says he is a chamber member. She should report it to them. Is he a chamber member? Oh. This does bring up an interesting question, because the chamber is supposed to have standards by which they have their members operate. And of course, they're a private organization, and they can turn people down based on the fact that they're not, chamber material. And it sounds to me that he may not be chamber material. So George is no longer in the Crichton building, so you might want to update his business license, because that's important. So for service of documents and stuff like that, you want people to be able to find you. Okay, let me just see here now. This is interesting. So someone says he will still need a T&B. He looks like he's registered to me, but he still need a T&B, although he's registered. So he's actually in an address in Milton Drive in Savannah, in Newlands. So yes. Wow.
I think that's where he lives.
Yeah. That's his house address, his mom's address. He lives in his mother's house. Someone says if he's answering her, that means that he's listening.
Yeah, he is listening.
He uses his business try and get puss. Disgusting. A certificate of good standing only says that he has all his fees paid. George is going to buck up on the right person soon, and he's going to get his you-know-what kicked. George not even cute, and he actually look okay. we don't have to go down that road. But yeah, what a hot mess. Wow, this is crazy. I mean, it's something's not right here. Someone says this is why Cayman needs a better business bureau, so people can go and look at reviews and or complaints. Like, for real, this is urgent, urgently needed. Someone says, good morning, Sandra. I was speaking with my mom, and she says I should give time until the 1st of June. Oh, that's somebody else looking for help. Good grief. You should make her call him and add him in.
What's in your mouth?
Oh, well, I mean, he's reading my messages. I guess he's just not in the mood.
Yeah.
You know?
He said he owns the house that he lives in, and to tell Sandra to F off. I say I need the papers. He said I must come to his office to pick them up. He's at his office all day.
He owns the house he lives in?
Yeah.
His siblings might disagree with that. That's his mother's house. How does he own the house he lives in? She certainly didn't leave it to him alone. Oh, George. Even one of his family members just message says, hell no, he does not own the house he lives in. George, you get in trouble with your siblings now, you know. Don't be telling that lie on air. Yeah, honey child, they listening. And get yourself in trouble. Just a word of advice. Stop with the lies. Miss Moya. So hopefully that explains their certificate of good standing. It's important that people understand these things because unfortunately, there's no protections in place. That's what y'all need to get. There really is zero protection in place. You guys have to do your own due diligence and you have to be prepared to, if somebody takes your money, doesn't deliver service, remember what Mr. Broadhurst was on here, Kyle Broadhurst telling us? You've got to be prepared to take them to small claims court. But for $500, George, just give the woman her documents and money back. This is so simple to me. I don't know why you messing up your reputation even more than it's already messed up. Wayne says, worry about yourself, but the man goes to church every day. That has nothing to do with it. The devil can quote Bible verse as well. You better believe it. Sometimes the devil quoting it better than anybody else. Carla says, don't fall for petty ads. Investigate the ads and see if it's true or not. Al Ray says, road trip. Road trip. Let's go. Oh my gosh. What a hot mess. No son. Well, there we go again, says Joseph. George of the jungle. Miss Morna says, Sandy, tell George to call me to take me out for lunch. Oh, you women need a free lunch. I don't know if he takes Caymanians out for lunch because he don't need to do no paperwork for Caymanians. Miss Morna, if he thinks he can pull a fast one on you, then yes, he'll be taking you out for lunch, but I think he knows better. Wayne says to Joseph, living legend, the roosters at it again, says wee. Narcissist, says Andrea, knows nothing about humility. So sad. Everton says people like this, they know they can get away with all the crazy stuff that they do, so they do not care. That's so sad, right? Ms. Pat says he needs to be stopped. The government needs to wake up and do the right thing. You have people that do the right thing, and this is what she gets. It really is disheartening. And I want to know, is the government thinking of putting any kind of protection in place? We're going to have the premiere on this Friday. Remind me to ask him this question in relation to how to stop these scammers, because the list is growing by the day. This is the problem. It keeps going by the day. People are getting braver and braver, and there's nothing in place to stop them. What did the police say, Allison, when you went to them? What was their response?
The policeman said that there's nothing that they can do about it, and that he said to just give him some time, which was a few days. And I say, okay, I give him a few days. I call back and it wasn't done. The policeman was also saying that the only thing that I would have to do was to take him to court because it would be a matter between the both of us, and I would have to go to a small claims court to get the money back.
So sad. Kayla says boycott George. Vernita says solution time. Everton says these guys don't care about their reputation because they're still getting people coming to them and they don't care. People, you guys should stop supporting these people that are taking people's money. Now, here's the thing, right? I don't like to in this day and age, it's called cancer culture, cancel or whatever, cancel culture. I don't like to cancel culture people, but at some point you have to recognize that clearly this person is not a good business person for more reasons than one. You know, when George a month ago he was messaging me, you know, he's like, "Oh, I want to advertise with you." I said, I didn't even have to think about it. I said, under no circumstances. You cannot advertise with CMR because not all money is good money. Okay. And I, being a principled person, how on earth would I take advertising money from somebody like George, who I know is going to put poor people like Allison in this predicament? I can't do that. Now, if I don't know that you're a bad business person and that you're sexually harassing women through your job and business, that would be one thing. But I do know this. I've seen the evidence with my own eyes. So you talking about, oh, this will be good for both of us. You know, I want to sponsor a show. I look like I'm desperate. No, Bobo. I don't need your money. I'm not desperate. You know, there has to be some principles that you stand by in life. And I'm sorry to say, I don't care who family to George and who his church people are and who like him and who don't like him and whatever, but on not a matter of personality, on a matter of principle, I cannot support the things that George does. Right? He gets on his platform, he has custom carry out by 2 minutes after the show, he'll be cussing me out on social media. Then by tomorrow, he's gonna be messaging me, oh, let's me new makeup. We shouldn't be fighting this. I'm not fighting with you. I'm exposing you for who you are. And you seem to not be capable of helping yourself. And it's a really sad indictment on all of us as Caymanians, because this man is a 63-year-old Caymanian business owner who is out there taking advantage of other people. And it simply is not right. And every member of this community, like I said, I think he's trying to join the Savannah church down by Pedro, the Baptist church or whatever down there. But every single member of this community needs to send a very, very clear message to George that, you know, we're not going to tolerate this. We know that you have young children, you have a younger wife, you know, you're out there cheating on her and doing all kind of stuff, George. I mean, I don't know how much longer she's going to stay with you, but it seems like it's a bit of a marriage of convenience and she doesn't have a choice because she's got a bag of children already. And then came and decided to have more with you, just telling you the truth. So she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Again, people talk in the streets that he's abusive towards her. So she might not feel like she has a choice, but you know, I don't want to take food out of your children's mouths, but at the same time, you're taking food out of the mouths of other people. You're endangering the lives of these children who could be here safely with their mom instead of having to go to Jamaica and be in an environment where the people they're living with are being targeted and can be murdered any minute. You know, I mean, you're disrupting people's family lives. You're providing a service, you're taking people's money and you're not doing the service. This is on so many different levels, just completely egregious. Good morning, Scott. Scott says this is a microcosm of one of many problems in Cayman today. Someone with RERC has to fill out detailed forms to keep their children in the country and face serious repercussions if they take a misstep. But because everyone is so paranoid about immigration. Meanwhile, as long as this con artist pays his business license fee, he can do whatever he likes. Isn't that just an amazing conundrum? I mean, it is really, thank you, Scott, for pointing that out, but it's really just shocking. 7 companies and adequate income, says Andrea. Stefan is shocked. He says debt collection too. I don't know, boy. I don't know. Kayla says number one is beyond me. Well, if somebody has to call themselves number one in the name of their business, something might be wrong for real. So, what are you gonna do, honey chow? He's listening. What message do you have for George this morning? Allison? Oh, can you hear me? Oh, I don't know if she lost her connection. Hello? What a hot mess. She might have muted me while she was sorting out the baby. Scott says this guy is playing right out of Dewey, Cheatham, and who? Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe playbook. Who are they? Moya says it seems like we have a lot of issues with loopholes in our laws, from businesses with bad practices to immigration laws in need of reform. If our elected official is not willing to address these issues that the community keep voicing, then it's time we start reaching out to elected officials in the UK to turn their eye our way. As British citizens, it's time to start using all the cards in our deck when government is failing us. Allison, are you there? Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, sorry, I was just asking. Obviously, he's listening to the show. What message do you have for George this morning?
Hold on, Miss Sandra. Let me come back. Okay. He needs to stop doing, George, I know you're listening. So first thing first, you need to stop doing this immigration services that you're offering to people because you're bogus. I can just imagine the amount of other persons that you owe money, just like me, and they're sick and tired of your behavior. Like, I always see you posted on CMR on Instagram and stuff like that, you yelling at people and all kind of stuff. And I was like, probably it's just people provoking you because I know you kind of right in the head. But I know when it comes to your job, right, you do your job properly. And that is the only reason why I came to you, because I know I would have gotten this done and, it would have done the right way, other than me taking it up on myself and trying to do it and having to be going back and forth from immigration. You need to stop do this business. So the wooden what it is, wooden shutter and business like that you have going on with your business license, that's what you're supposed to take up. Leave business alone that you have to deal with female, because it is not for you. Once you see somebody look good or whatever it is, you lose track of what you're supposed to do, and you take people money and you carry other people on lunch and dinner and drinks and stuff like that. This not your business. This not cut out for you. You need to stop.
He still has your documents. I know a lot of times you have to give original documents and stuff like that. Were the police not at least able to have him hand you back your documents?
No, I even asked the police to get them from him, because he went inside his little office, his little conference room. He went in there with the documents in his hand. And when they were coming out, I asked the police officer to just let me get the original. The policeman said to me, Allison, just calm down, just calm down. He said he's going to do it. Let me talk to you. He says he's going to do it. So just wait on him. If I had gotten them from then, I would have been okay. All I know is that I lose $500, and that's just what it is, because I don't intend to run George down for my money.
George, please, 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 just give the woman her documents. You can have them delivered to her. You know where her place of employment is. Send a courier service to just send the documents over. I mean, you got to do better than this. This is just.
He said he's at the office now, and he's at the office all day.
You don't go. You don't go there.
Me, I don't need that.
Send your husband there. Send your husband to go pick up those documents for you.
If I send him there, Sandra, I probably have to go buy him 2 Rockmans down by Fairbanks, because that's the same reason why I don't tell him about it.
Oh Lord.
I come home from work, I so stressed. He asking me what's wrong with me. I can't even tell him what's wrong with me, because first thing, I go and get the cussing. And then he going to take it upon himself to see George.
Well, according to the land registry, since George claims that he owns the house, according to the land registry, it's Mario and Sonia, his siblings, whose name the house is in. So, George, how can you own that property if it's not even in your name? I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know what you're making up here, but this other person says for real, honest, and professional processing, contact, and they sent another company trying to get some free advertising. Yeah, this situation is a hot mess. George, just give the woman her documents. I would not go there if I were you. You know, he might tie you up and force you to go to lunch. Kayla says George dating service. Yeah, that sounds like what he's trying to do.
That's it.
Cameron says CMR is Cayman's Better Business Bureau. Make your reports right here. I mean, unfortunately, people like Allison didn't hear the times that we talked about George before, so she still fell victim to him. Around the same time that the stuff was going on with the last woman and all the messages and what he wanted to do to her and all that kind of stuff, preying on this poor woman, giving her money, sending her phone credit, sending her cash, telling her must go get her nails done and hair done. I mean, the length of the conversations that they would have every single day did make me ask the question, how does this man get any work done?
He doesn't.
I don't even talk to my husband that much during the day.
Exactly.
You know, he's wasting time trying to get in bed with women. That is where his time is going. He's not busy with nothing else. My goodness. Vernita says, talk to Ting, Cameron. That's a good question. $500 ain't important. The paper's important. John says, this is Caymanians giving themselves a bad rap. You better believe it. It's so sad. Stacy says, on point caller. And if they don't get in your pants, they vex and in their feelings for a married man. Shame on you, George.
That's true. That's what a person said because I didn't go to his house with my girls and I didn't go to the lunch and stuff like that with him. That's why he didn't put the application in.
Yeah. Well, Cameron says it sounds more like a dating service disguised as an immigration service. My goodness. What a hot mess.
See, Cameron.
No, sir. Siobhan says there's been so many reports of him being a scammer, so they need to revoke his business license and deny ever again to get a business license, period. I mean, I don't know how it works. Can we call DCI? I am a little bit curious. I think they're open now, right? It's 9:26 in the morning. Who's running DCI these days? Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can give them a call. I'm curious. I can't remember who's acting director, new director, or somebody. But let me see. Hold on, Allison. Let's see if they're going to answer their phones. Okay. So we have, they want you to use online services. I mean, they're probably not going to answer the phone. But let's try to give them a call and see if anyone can tell us about the criteria. 0943. And of course, if the legislation isn't there to give DCI these powers, there really isn't anything that they can do. It's a hot mess.
They're not going to do anything about it because they're getting money.
I don't even know if they answer the phone.
Thank you for contacting the Department of Commerce and Investment. All our agents are currently unavailable. Please continue to hold, and the next available agent will assist you shortly.
All right, let's see if anybody
Alternatively,
answers.
you can send us an email to info@dci.gov.ky.
Let's see if we can hold on.
And one of our friendly staff will reply within 24 to 48 hours.
24 to 48 hours.
Your position in queue is 1.
All right, we're the only people on hold, so let's see. Let's see. Okay. While we're waiting on somebody to answer the phone over there, let me see if I can look through my emails and see who's now enforcement.
Did you know you can avoid paying penalties by renewing your license on time?
Listen to me, we're not business with the penalties.
Up to 3 months before the date of expiry. Visit our website today to submit your application. All trade and business
You
licenses.
see, there's no
are now
standards. They
issued
just want you to apply, pay your fee, and that's
If you
it.
need a copy, you can access it on your inbox.
So this
If you are
person
unable to
is a
locate the
business
license,
license
you can
officer.
obtain a copy for a fee of $10 by visiting the business licensing counter from Monday to Friday.
947.
between 9
Hold
a.m.
on,
to
somebody's
4
calling
p.m.
me. Good morning. 9362626. Okay, there. All righty, no problem. All right, 9362626. So we have a business license. I'm trying to find somebody like a direct number over at DCI. This person.
Need to change your location or the name of your business? This can be done
We
by
have
submitting an amendment form
strategic
online
communications
or at the business
officer.
licensing counter during our regular business hours.
DCI.
The fee to amend a license
what a
is
mess.
$50. Amendment is processed within 2 to 3 weeks from the date of submission. Once approved, the amended license will be sent electronically to the email address on file. If you wish to submit at our business licensing counter,
Claudia
please visit our
does
website,
enforcement. Mitzi Jervis is at DCI. Who's head of DCI now?
For form and to review our application.
Oh, head of compliance with Charmaine Dowhouse?
Did you know? Can renew, amend, or submit your
Okay, let me see if she'll answer. Is that her government number? Because I don't want to call in her personal phone. Hang up, but then people could not answer the phone. We're the only person in the queue and nobody answers the phone. You go figure. Morning, caller.
Yes, ma'am. Morning.
Morning.
So I would suggest that I go. I didn't know that he was like that because I talked to him. And he gotta go. He for the birds. He no food. Cause the bird not gonna even pick on him. She have friends. What I will do is get 2 or 3 friends to go with her and go to the office. And if he start any foolishness, then knock him out. Get her papers. If she don't want to tell her husband, because that was.
Well, somebody said the husband can know now, but I don't know. maybe he doesn't listen to the cold hard truth.
Somebody gonna listening and probably gonna go cause news travel. But I will get a few friends if she don't want to go by herself, that she will have witness and go and stand there and demand my papers. Yes. And if he come with any foolishness, knock him out and pay for him because he needs to go. But this is what I tell you. When you get on things like this, can only go on in the Cayman Island. Cayman used to be nice, but Cayman is gone. Like I tell you, we for the birds now, because not even the birds would pick on us because they say it's not good food. Because that's ridiculous. So you can take it in. I tell you, the police not go because everything that you go to them.
Yeah, I mean,
civil matter is court. Not everybody want and not no court. The same thing they done my son when the guy stole the stuff from him. But like I tell him, my mother used to say my mother is like a goat, and they got him again for they arrest him and came on back. And I hope they put him on the northward, not inside. So sometimes you just gotta leave things to time too. And they say time as a BITCH and it will work out. But then as human nature, you want action right away when people do your stuff. But don't worry. Like my mother used to say, when I reach you yet, not pass you by. And if you do good in life, sometimes you get things happen to you. Why you think if you do wrong, you must get it. You got to get it. They say, what will come out in the wash can come out in the rain. And if you do think, and then that's the worst thing too. When you got kids, you got to remember them. Because they say, what will catch her, catch his shirt or his coat. So you got to remember kids. The kids shouldn't pay for what the parents do.
Yep. Well, okay. Thank you so much, caller. Really appreciate it. What minister does DCI fall under? Which government minister? I was trying to think of this actually, because this is a good question as well. Because I'm curious to know if they intend to do anything about situations like this. This is now the government. What legislation and consumer protection can we expect to see coming from the government? Let me see here now. I'm gonna try and call. They say this person's in charge of enforcement. Andre. Oh, okay.
Hello?
Hi, good morning, Ms. Charmaine?
No, not Miss Charmaine.
Oh.
It's Mr. Sutherland.
Mr.
But I know Charmaine.
Oh. Do you work at DCI?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay. No,
okay, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I think I've dialed the wrong number. Hold on. That was supposed to be 926, not 929. Hold on. Let me try it again. Sorry. 1 digit off. Let's try it again. This person says, hi, morning, Sandra. I hope to be able to present this group.
Hello.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Charmaine. Sandra Hill here. How are you?
Not bad.
Do you have a number? I'm not sure if this is your work number or if it's this your personal
number.
Oh, do you have a work number that I could reach you on this morning?
925-4143.
925-4143. Okay, I'm going to call you back on that number. Thank you so much. All right. We don't want to be calling people on their personal lines, honey child. Not when they got a government number. The government number, take the call. 925-4143. All right. She probably not gonna answer now, but anyway.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Charmaine. Morning, Sandra here. You're live on radio, by the way. We just have some DCI related general questions, nothing specific.
Okay, I won't be able to answer that right now because I'm on the road dealing with a matter. Okay.
Okay. When can we get some answers? Can we send you an email?
You can send an email to enforcement at dci.gov.ky.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All righty. Bye-bye. All right. Nobody in the civil service ever wants to give you any answers. These are like heads of department managers. Like they should be able to answer basic questions like, what powers does enforcement have? How does it work? Do you guys ever revoke a business license? Do you, how do you handle complaints? Morning, caller. That's a WhatsApp call. It says incoming call. I think it's trying to connect. Hello, caller. Siobhan says there are too many reports of him being a scammer, so they need to revoke it. Oh yeah, we read that one already. Sorry. When is the CMR Scams Watch going live? You know what, Scott? We're gonna start putting people on the website because I find like, although we have a lot of people who listen to the show, you might miss an episode or not everybody listens every single day. So I think that people need to start using Google. And Miss Darlene, your call is not coming in for some reason. I don't know what's going on. It might be in a spotty area for internet. But I think at some point, people need to start doing some research and due diligence. So we have a caller on the other line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, morning, Sandra. How you doing
Yes, sir.
today?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, listening to your conversation this morning. That's a serious matter that is going on all over the island, and you know what can happen? You know what I can take to stop it? Somebody get crazy.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen, right? We do not want that to happen.
That way can take, Sandra. I'm sorry to say, we don't want it to happen, but the law can't do nothing about it. The courts can't do nothing about it. You imagine this man even owes the court, and the court can't get money from
That's true. That is true because
it can take people to take the laws into their own hands. I'm sorry. I had a situation couple of months back now, about a year, and the law can't do nothing about it. They can't even find the person because we went to court. The court we won the court case. A man took a deposit to do some work for us, and he went to court because he couldn't fulfill the contract. So he went to court, win the court case, and he had to go and pay. He had to go pay it to the court, and the judge plainly told him in the final judgment to say, if you don't go today and pay it, well, we're gonna lock you up in prison. That day crossed, weeks crossed, month crossed. We're about a year and a half later. The man still never went to pay the fine, and the police can't find the man. The man has friends that the police don't want to find him. You see what I'm saying? So if I see this man on the street now, I can take the law into my own hand. Because this woman talking about $500. I'm talking about $1,200. You see, $1,200. This is the kind of thing that driving people over the edge. This is the kind of thing when the law doesn't do anything about it, and nothing can be done. That's the last matter people resort to. So that's all I wanted to add to the conversation this morning.
I appreciate it, my dear. Thank you so much. So yes, and this is one of the reasons why, folks, we even do these shows and we highlight these individuals so that you can be, forewarned. What is the saying? Forewarned is how does it saying again? Forewarned is, what is that saying? Forewarned is something. Help me out here, folks. How does that saying, people? Grant, I used to say that. Forewarned is for. Oh Lord. Anybody listening that know what I'm talking about? Forewarned is forearmed. Yes. Y'all know that saying? So in other words, prior knowledge of a dangerous situation will allow you to avoid it. You've been warned now numerous times about George. So forewarned is forearmed. Thank you, John. So nobody should now be doing business with him. But listen, I see this every single day. People are being scammed, immigration scams, cars, marriages, all sorts of stuff. And one of these days, like that caller said, someone unfortunately is going to get themselves in trouble. And I don't want you guys to do that. There's no amount of money in the world that is worth you going and sitting down at Northward or Fairbanks for. But I understand the frustrations because people work too hard for their money. Scott says CMR needs broaders to sponsor scammers segment where CMR confronts these people regarding their behavior. Send out an investigative reporter to video like caught them cheating kind of shows. Oh Lord. They don't even want to answer the phone now, much less. But you know, it's just an unbelievably sad situation. This poor mother only needs her documents back. George, I am begging you, if you have any degree of decency left, yeah, and you're 63 years, your poor mother would be so, if she were alive, she would not be happy. Trust me. That woman was a good, principled woman.
I just sent you a screenshot, Sandy.
Sorry?
I just sent you a screenshot. Look at it.
Oh. Let me see here now. Miss Darlene? Look at Miss Darlene having connection issues today. She's trying to call, but what? Bring my ring? He gave you a ring?
No.
What is he talking about?
And then he sends the message and he deletes it. Right? And then every time he texts my phone, he deletes the messages. Like he thinks I'm not going to screenshot them. I'm going to screenshot them. Because you don't have no behavior. Let me send you this one too. He just sent
man behavior. That not even what do him. Something else do this man. So this one says, let me see what he's saying now. Bring my ring. Web design. I'm affiliated worldwide, child. And then you respond to, nah, this is not a trade. Already screenshot it. I have a house. And you tell him to stop texting you. And he says, I will bring down to your place of employment today your forms and cover letter already done. Right. Okay. Might now remove plus your $500 later. The woman don't care about all these theatrics. But what rings he talking about? He gave you a ring too? I think he gave the last woman a ring.
He gave me a ring. I left that ring right in his office. I don't want to cross his follow me.
He gave you a ring?
Yeah, I leave that right in his office.
When did the man give you a ring?
When he gave it to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he gave me a ring. I leave it right in his office.
Why would he be giving you a ring and you're a married woman?
That's why I leave it right there. I don't want that.
So explain to us how this went down. You went into his office with your immigration paperwork and he just hands you a ring?
We were there with the kids in his little boardroom. With the papers and stuff like that. And he put it in my hands. I just leave it right there when the lady come with the
He didn't say anything to you? He just puts a ring in your hand?
Yeah. When the lady came with the receipt, I just leave it right there.
Oh, that's creepy and weird all at the same time. Ew. Who does that?
George.
Ugh. Ugh. That gives me the bejeebers. Oh my God. What on earth? No, sir. This man is special on all kind of different levels. Murder, says Kayla. Oh my God. Backside, says Siobhan. Everybody, I think everybody's in a little bit of shock by that.
Yeah.
That's just weird. El Rey says, Georgia, the ring master. So he can afford to be buying people rings and can't even get you your money back? Moore says he used the company for personal sexual pleasures. Think about your kids and be respectful with your client, Bobo. Exactly. All of this is like so weird and disgusting and creepy. And another person said that this is like tantamount to sexual harassment. It is.
It is. It is.
Oh my God. So this person says George sounds like a sexual predator. Ugh. Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Maybe
Hello?
them rings made out of galvanized plate. They make them be real. They better be minded rot their finger off. That's out loud.
Oh my God.
Kurt Sibley used to say, here, boy, you can hear something when you're listening.
Oh my God. Trust and believe. Thank you, my dear child. Miss Darlene, you finally got through.
Yeah, my cat unplugged my
internet. Oh God, the cat didn't want you letting the cat out of the bag today.
I know, he was on the windowsill and looked like he jumped down and caught the plug on the wall. Anyway,
somebody said he might have a ring for me too, honey child. Don't try it. This person says I'm gonna cross dress and go. I'm cross dressing and going to see George to see if I can get a ring too. Everybody wants a ring and everybody looking for free dinner and free lunch. I know one thing. I don't need no ring, honey child. Keep that.
Okay. Anyway, okay, so I think, Sandra, one of the things, and I'm sure you'll get to that, is to get DCI or whoever it is on today's show, because there's a lot of things that people don't understand with the law, and there's a lot of things that the public is experiencing that they don't know and about, and also the police. When Mr. Premier is on, I think we need to really get him who's going to make these laws to make the police know that these are issues. Because you know what I'm fearing, Sandra? I'm fearing that one day a crazy person is going to get scammed.
Yeah.
And you know what happens?
Take matters into their own hands. And that's why we try to give people an option. Because listen, Miss Darlene, you know how many people, and I'm telling you, right now I'm dealing with another case with that Barnes guy with that car and the scammer. That little boy is doing I shouldn't say boy, but that young man is doing everything in his power not to go and do something to this guy, you know, for his $3,000+.
Yeah.
People work too hard for their money.
Exactly.
Even the prison officer the other day with the $5,700, he said, Sandy, I gotta go and deal with this man. And I said, sir, cool your jets. Let me reach out to his mother. We will get you. We'll do our best to get you your money back. People are on the edge.
Yeah.
They are tethering on the edge of taking matters into their own hands.
You are doing what you can in an awesome job. But where is the police in all of this?
Exactly.
Where is the laws that?
And I mean, obviously from a legal perspective, I understand what it is that the police are saying, right? I understand that there are some things that are civil matters, but I think they need to put a little bit more pressure on these individuals, because something can be a civil matter, but it can also be a criminal matter, you know.
It's a crime.
So if you take someone's money, if you take someone's money and say you're going to deliver a particular service and you don't, that is the very definition of obtaining property by deception. So there's a criminal element to some of these things as well. And George needs to be aware of these things. That the police are just like, oh, well, you have to take him to court yourself. And people don't even understand the court process. They don't know what they need to do, even for small claims court. You know, we had Mr. Broadhurst on here demystifying it, but it's still like strange to people. They don't know how to do it. They're still like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do that. You know, it's still like scary to think about it. Somebody said George must have a drawer full of rings.
One thing with the police that I found out in working with enforcement and police, they don't know, majority of them do know how to put a statement together. So that's
that's true. They can't even spell it.
They are running from these kind of things because they don't know how to put a case like that together.
Yeah.
So they're going to say, and who knows if what they're saying is correct. I mean, the laws are there, but the laws are meant to be changed, and and you know, times have changed, so the laws need to change. Like that lady said just now, gone are the days when you can give a handshake and say, yeah, I trust you. You're gonna deliver the goods, or you're gonna pay me, and that's it. But it's no more. It's no more. So I think that even Mr. Andre himself send somebody in if he can't make it in, or obviously I don't think he would be. But to make people know how to identify. A matter of fact, how to identify if it's a legitimate business. Another thing is, I think they need to start some type of good business, bad business, whatever you want to call it, so that you and me and everybody else can go on and say, well, okay, ABC business, what kind of reviews you've got, whether they're complaints, whether. So that will give you an idea. And if you want to turn the fool and go and take their services, if you seen like they're getting a poor review, then you know what? You can't help them, Sandra. CMR can't help them because it's there in black and white that they are not doing what they're supposed to do as good citizens, as good business people. That's what my take.
Thank you, my darling. I appreciate it. This one made me laugh. This person said George is full of more stories than a Nancy. Now a Canadian would know exactly what that means, honey child. If you know, you know. Wow. Thank you, Miss Darlene. Appreciate it. Tell that cat to stop pulling out your internet. Wow. I mean, listen, folks, if we don't laugh, we're going to cry and we're going to just be so miserable because of people like George. I mean, you can't let people like this spiral you down this road of negativity. Allison, I pray and hope that today you will get your documents. Will you please keep us updated on the situation?
I will.
All right, my dear. And George, stop messaging the woman. She says she don't want to hear from you again. Caller, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I know this was George. Wait on how to take that man and put him in prison until they solve this problem. Let the judge decide what to do with him. This is a total disgrace, which is 75% of everything going on in government is practically wrong nowadays. And all they're doing is chasing on the goddamn poor people, trying to make their life more difficult than what it is. Get that man out of your office and how them people want to refund and revoke his license and put him in place because he's a church-going member and it's a friggin' disgrace.
Yeah,
the man was right. These things cause crimes.
Yeah, I know.
When the law can't do nothing about it and the judge ignore it, what the hell we must do?
Yeah. And of course, he's not even going to get to the judge unless the police actually do something about it. And the police are the ones who are always saying they can't do that.
If it were me this morning, I would have went down with a freaking gawa limb and broke a bone in him. You understand? Then they would arrest me.
Exactly.
That's how you solve problems like that. And like get this thing sorted out, man, because this not a weak thing, man. You know? Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear. No, it is. I don't know, but this guava limb sound kind of dangerous still. But I haven't seen one of them yet. But sound like they can give you a good beating when you need it. But listen, that caller is sharing the sentiment of a lot of us, right? I mean, I can only imagine how Allison feels as a mother, and your children are in imminent danger. And you're trying to move them out of harm's way, because that is no joke. Children disappear. Children disappear every day in Jamaica. They become, just innocent victims. They're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She said the people who are taking care of her children are being targeted. Of course, she wants to get her there.
Not to cut you, to tell you something too. My daughter she used to attend Merle Grove High School in Jamaica, one of the top high school there. It's an all-girls school. And I think like 2 weeks after she was here, one of her best friend went missing.
Oh my God. That was your daughter's best friend?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, on peace. Jamaica getting crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all I went to this man for was for assistance so that I could get things sorted out to have my kids here so that I can protect them, because this is 100%, 100 times safer for them to be here than being in Jamaica. They're not going to bars and nightclub where I have to worry about them being hurt or whatever. It's just the crazy drivers on the street. But other than that, it's more safer for them to be here with me than to have them so far away. If God forbid, if they were supposed to be there and something happened, how am I going to reach to them?
You understand?
I would probably die with pressure or something.
Yeah.
You know? Like all I needed was just the help. It's not like I wasn't paying for it. I just needed the help to get the papers in.
Yep. That's so true. All right, Allison, please keep us posted. I mean, this is a very egregious situation. All right, my dear. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. And I think it's collectively all of our responsibilities now to ensure, folks, that, you know, too many of us here placate George, and y'all know what I mean. And people like George. George is like a euphemism for a much broader issue in this community. We know people who are doing wrong, and we either ignore their wrongdoing, encourage them in their wrongdoing, you know, turning a blind eye, all this kind of stuff, and it has got to stop, right? George cares despite his horrendous behavior. He is a person who cares what you guys think on social media. He is a person who is entwined in his reputation. That's why he's always posting on Instagram. If he sees the you know, deputy governor, he wants to take a picture with him at his 5K event. If he sees the premier, he's going to run up on the premier's platform during an election, although he wasn't invited up. He cares about the optics. George cares what you guys think about him at some level. And he wants to be able to fool you with this persona of being this good Christian man who sings in the choir. And this is where now a community this size needs to put some pressure on George. Y'all need to say to him, George, don't come in this church and believe that you can sing in the church choir. I mean, church is for sinners, so you can come to church, but you're going to be sitting in a pew. We're not going to put you up on a pedestal. We're not going to put you in charge of youth ministries. Jesus, please don't do that. Right? You are now identified as a known sexual predator in this community. Women at church should be fearful as well. It don't make no difference that your skirt all the way down to your ankle. Men like them don't care. They can still be trying to slip a ring down your pocket and God knows what else. Stop George. His family members. I know y'all listening to the show. George has at least one sister that I'm aware of. Is there another sister? Multiple brothers. I know he's a 63-year-old man, and y'all been living with the madness your entire lives. You're probably like, Sandy, nothing we can do about him. But put a little bit of pressure on him. Stop inviting him to church events and you know, family events and whatever. We all pretend like everything's fine. Start to say, George, get professional help. If you're bipolar, if you suffer from depression, you have we're talking about mental health just on yesterday's program, go and get help. But that does not excuse. Just because somebody's bipolar doesn't make them a sexual pervert. It doesn't make them a bad business person. It doesn't make them a scammer. It doesn't make them a liar, a cheater, all these things. A mental health diagnosis is different than what is going on here with George. And he needs to get it under control. This person says, morning, Miss Sandra. Honestly, after watching your morning show and being in tune with K-Man stuff, I've been conflicted and was hoping for guidance. I'm not sure what this one's about. Oh, okay. Is somebody else looking for help? You know, I think y'all need to, you know, now he's going to run and put up a post on social media. Oh, Sandy's hating on me, blah, blah, blah. And invariably, there's going to be two people, because that's about as much as he gets, who are going to jump into the comment section. There are people who are upset with me because I had to call them or their family members out. And then they can start supporting George. Stop it. Even if you have a beef with me, I don't give two cahoots. Y'all know that already. Okay? By you commenting and supporting George, yeah, you should go sue her. You should do this. You are part of the problem. George can't sue me for nothing because I've never said anything about George that is not the truth. What he got to sue me for? You can't sue somebody for telling the truth. Stop placating George. It is time y'all put a little pressure on this man. I can't even ask the poor wife to put pressure on him because he can beat the you-know-what out of her. We know you're a woman beater, George. This is no top-notch secret in this country. Everybody knows who you are. And y'all need to stop pretending like you don't know the man. People like this, in my book, when you see them walking on the street, you get on the other side of the street. And keep walking like you don't see them. You don't acknowledge them. You don't hold no conversation with them. Tell them to get the hell out of your way. Josephine says he needs a cow cod whipping. Where is Ozzy when you need him? Because Ozzy was the only one willing to give people something with a good cow cod. Now, I don't advocate physical violence on the ordinary. None at all. In that case, Ozzy was defending his business and his staff. So the man get a little lick with a cow cod. Well, so it goes. Cameron says, I'm waiting for a criminal organization to protect the citizens. And I stated, the police have a job to do, regardless if they have issues. And by and large, I don't throw the RCIPS under the bus. I think they kind of try in most of the time, you know? But my goodness, I don't know. Like that last male caller said, I mean, this man got to do better. Lucy says, I came home for a month and one Jamaican robbed me $500. I gave him for a job. I guess he knew I was leaving. I gave him a sofa to fit. I went to his place, take my material and leave the money. I'm a mad woman. I did not have the time to go something banks. I'm not sure what that last part is. Yeah. Miss Olive says, OMG, Sandra, the Jesus, please don't do that. Knock me right out. Don't do what? What am I missing? Yay. What a mess. Good morning, Miss Ravina. This wife is his match. He can't beat her, says Andrea. Well, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know. He was doing it already. So I don't know. She grew a little testicular fortitude lately. She sits on him and beats him. I don't know about that. You check the records, honey, Jill. A lot of that going on around here. Josephina said, like Pharaoh passed the promised land. Past him, yes, he's done. He's none. Yes, this is the approach that you need to take. And stop, for God's sake now. Anybody after today who engages George for these consultancy services need to have their head checked. And do not call me that the man took your money and didn't do the job. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am. Can't complain.
Good. Yes, we shouldn't complain. I just heard a George Gillette call, and definitely is not George Gillette. He's a decent person. So maybe you would want to clear that up. That's George Ebanks you're talking about?
Yes, that's George R. Ebanks at that.
Well, that he had need a cow cod long time. Long time, and then he wouldn't be doing the dirt that he's doing and always getting away with it. Yes, he does have two sisters. The older of them is a daughter and a few brothers. But none of them seem to be correcting him in any way. Some is just playing big shots, like in most families nowadays in Cayman. They don't really take care of each other because I got something more than you, so I'm gonna walk around with my nose stuck up in the air. I don't know how the story went, so I'm not gonna comment. But I tell you what, he's getting to be dangerous. And like one lady said, put him under the jail, yes, but beat him first. Thank you, Miss Sandra, and good morning to you.
Yes, my dear. Thank you so much. It's very, very unfortunate, folks. 93626 936-2626 is his cell phone number. Savon says, yes, don't support people like that. You support people like that, you're just as bad as them. Cameron says, I'll never forget when we gave Baines a cow cod as a parting gift from the RCMPS. Who gave it to him? Ozzy gave him a cow cod? Josephina says, I told Anna a cow card beating would change him. All them play big S. I don't think no beating a change, George, unfortunately. You know, someone like him needs therapy and a lot of it. Can you change 63 years of dysfunctionality and bad behavior? I don't know. That is a tall order, and it probably is in the order of one of the miracles, one of the 7 wonders of the world. And then the good Lord got sprinkle a little bit of miracle stuff on top of it too. So I don't know. I'm not advocating going and beating him or anybody else, but boy, I tell you what, some people. Siobhan says, well, I did say so far under the jail, but I also said melt the key. I tell you. All right, folks. Let's have a look at the Stefan says for real. He's not going to answer our phone calls today. We tried a couple times. Obviously, he's content just sitting back listening to the show. Like I said, I know his MO now. He'll message me a little bit later on. Shall we try and call him one more time? He'll message me a little bit later on and claim that we can kiss and make up. And I always tell George, I don't have no beef with you, George, because you actually have done nothing to me personally other than call me names, that kind of thing. And I'm ignoring that because you're childish. But you're impacting a lot of other people and a lot of other people's lives, and you really need to get it together. Right? So you and I don't have to bury no hatchet because there's no hatchet to bury. You know, I can't be victimized by somebody like you because it don't go so. Not today, Bobo. Not today. Did y'all see the not today, Bobo signs? I need to get one custom one done for, and I have one in my living room that says not today, Bobo. I get one put in here too, right above the flag. Right above that Cayman flag, I can say not today, Bobo. So I don't know, but hopefully Allison will get her papers and her daughters will be safe. And this is a real serious thing now. I mean, Jamaica, wow. The prime minister announced another zone. What do they call these zones where they lock off with the military enforcement zones and murder rates are up and all kind of ting. It's just like so scary. A lot of Caymanians have family in Jamaica. We've got connections to Jamaica. We traveled to Jamaica. And now you're like, oh, Lord, man, I want to go. Cameron says, not a beating, the actual thing. Don't remember who presented it to him. All I know is I wouldn't be able to do it with a straight face. No, I know he didn't get a beating. Somebody gave him a cow card. I understand what you're saying. State of emergency. Thank you. SOE. Yes, all over Jamaica, honey child. So this poor mother must really, really be worried. Man, get the woman her documents, child. No, so I don't know what to say. I'm dumbfounded. Anyway, let me see here. This person says, oh, that was another message. All right. Hot tamales. All right. So what else is trending? Let me just have a look here. I'll tell y'all what else is going on around the world. Did you know that the RCIPS, I don't think we mentioned this. Let me take an opportunity now to mention this. The RCIPS has said that they've set up this special task force to do, I guess, a more in-depth investigation into this black child that died under what most of us consider, very unusual circumstances. We don't know if anything's going to come of it, but at least they have put together this additional task force to try to help the situation. I'm hopeful that whatever it is, like I don't know how to feel about this, right? I'm just hopeful that whatever it is, we can get to the bottom of it with this child. Some of us just feel like it isn't right. Something's not right what happened to her. I feel that in my heart of hearts, I don't know without concrete evidence that she was murdered. I mean, I can't say that. So I do feel that what is likely going on here is that there was some degree of neglect. And you know, the RCIPS, listen very, very careful to me now. The RCIPS is not going to do anything to the mother for neglect. Right? The mother is making a scene, you're not investigating properly, whatever. If the child died because of her neglect, you can take it to the bank when I tell you that they are not going to charge that mother under no circumstances. Now, somebody should be charged, but I know that they're not going to do it. So they'll have the professionals come in. They're going to look over everything again. They're going to come back and say, nope, the mother has provided us with nothing concrete. The child just died, you know, blah, 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 whatever. That's the end of it. And we move on. And there's no real answers as to what has happened to that little baby. Most of us feel like somebody should have to pay for this, huh? But if the mother was just neglectful and the child somehow wandered out and drowned, maybe she drowned in the pool at the condo and then she was moved to the other location to make it look like she walked that far. I don't know. I don't really know. What I do know is an entire community, her grandmother, the father, and even the mother herself is going to mourn the loss of this little girl who had such an incredibly bright future ahead of her. Like nothing else, you know, you can't compare for sure what this loss must be like for them. Even if the mother screwed up, she will have to live with this for the rest of her life. Yesterday afternoon, there was a, oh my gosh, another accident came out again. What do y'all people? Y'all can't drive to save your lives. Hold on a second now. Yesterday afternoon, there was a mother who accidentally, I don't know how it happened, but a mother who accidentally locked her child in the car. I think she got out of the car and the car like locked itself. Can cars still do that? This must be an older car. Because the newer cars, if they're on, they're not locking. I tell y'all how I keep forgetting my car is on because it goes into the electric mode. It's so silent. I forget it's on. I walk away. But you know, these newer cars, they remind you to check the back seat once they feel that a child's seat is engaged. My little thing comes up all the time. Double check the back seat. And I look at it as I get out of the car and I'm like, oh yeah, as though I'm going to forget my baby. But sometimes you might, if you were driving for 2 hours, we're not doing that in Cayman. She's back there talking to me the whole way anyway. But this car accidentally locked with the baby inside. And thankfully the staff at the Ritz were able to help their coworker and get the child out. Wow. That must have been scary. But listen, I don't care what kind of car that is. That window would have been busted right the hell out. Trust and believe me. You got to be careful, folks. You've got to be so careful. And I've heard of people locking themselves out of the cars, the keys in the car, and the car's still locked. Know what kind of car you have and be careful. Because you never want that to be in your conscience. We've had a baby here at the grocery store at Foster's Airport that they forgot in the car and the child died. These things happen. Right? And I'm not here to judge parents. You know, a lot of us like, how can you leave your child in the car? I'm not going to go down there. But I'm just saying, please, just be careful. This isn't what happened. They didn't forget the child and walk away. For some reason, they got out of the car and the car locked with the baby inside of it. And like I said, I would have picked that one brick and bust that window wide open. Make insurance pay for it. Anyway, be careful with your children, folks. Josephine is asking if he was locked away ago in jail or something. George, no. He was, you know, listen, George has admitted to having depression, at least a years-long episode of depression. And at the time, I applauded him for at least being honest about it. It's hard to talk about mental health issues. I think that unfortunately for George, he didn't quite get a grasp on the situation. So he came out of his depressive episode. He said it lasted for years. I mean, I read it at the time with keen interest. And what I will say is clearly there are some mental health concerns there. I think a blind man could see that, yeah? A blind man all the way in Egypt would be able to see and understand that is part of the problem. But it seems to me that he didn't recognize that what then happened is he came out of a depressive stage. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not a mental health professional, but I believe from what I have seen of other people that he came out of the depression and went straight into a manic stage. And he's been in that manic stage for years. And he needs medication. I think he's one of those severe cases where he actually needs medication to balance out those mood swings. And you can tell when he's in a manic stage. You ever try to have a conversation with him? That's why that day on this show, I couldn't get a word in edgewise because that's a manic person. He's telling me, oh, I always have to win a conversation. But y'all saw me stand here. George. No. Let me say this. Let me say that. George. No. George. No. And it's like, that's how manic is. And if you got to live with that 24/7, I pray for you, honey child. So Josephine says, so he came out of a depressive mode to a conquistador mode. No, sir. That's bipolar. Like if you've ever dealt with someone who's bipolar, there's different types of bipolarism, but that's one of them. Mm-hmm. And then he goes and rents a space, 4,000 square feet. Cause now it's like the manic stage. You can do anything. You're going to have the most number one business, 10 businesses, and they're all number one. You're going to be so successful. You're going to sell everybody. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this. And I can do that. A ring for you. A ring for you. A ring for everybody. You know, it's that constant. Oh my God. Last time he spoke, he claimed he was going to go see a professional. I mean, he's not going to do it for me because I don't care one way or the other. I'm not the one who's going to lie down with him and going to live with him. But I would suggest he doesn't. Pam says, well, the black mom was terribly distraught. Even had stated nobody had no beef with her. She seemed very sincere and seemed no dishonesty were in her words. I hope they soon discover what really happened. So sad. I mean, listen, the mother can say whatever she wants. The streets are talking different things. She had beef with people. And, you know, she dabbles in cocaine. We're not going to sugarcoat nothing on this show. We're not going to pretend like she is mother of the year. Police in the Bronx have spoken to her before about leaving her children in a car while she went in the bar and sat down and had a drink. And they're in the car sitting down on an iPad. So she's not no mother of the year. So she can now get on and put on makeup and do this broadcast where she curses and carrying out all she wants and pretend to really, really be upset. But there are a lot of questions about her behavior and all of this. So the police, you know, good luck to them. They certainly have a lot to investigate. Like I said, I kind of feel like they're not going to be any further ahead, even with this, new group of individuals that they're saying that they're going to be putting together. El Rey says, why break the glass? The car is running with AC on it. Just call a locksmith to open the car for $60 versus hundreds of dollars. I know, but El Rey, a baby. I don't know how old the child is, to be fair, right? And I've known people, listen, I went to a birthday party one time with some of Gigi's classmates and their parents. The son did the same thing to the dad. The dad had started the car. The son locked the dad out. But eventually he was able to like talk him through the window to open the door. So sometimes kids do stuff like this as well. I don't really know how old, I heard it was a baby, but I don't know how old the baby was. But even you can't leave a baby in a car with air conditioning, unattended, you came on locksmith, take 2 or 3 hours to get there. So I don't know. I have a locksmith on speed dial, so I probably wouldn't have to break it. But as Sue says, I've dealt with person with bipolar. Oh my God. Some way worse in manic times than others. So hard to deal with. Josephine is wondering if he gets a good discount on those rings from the Diamond Marquis. Child, please, you know that these are no Diamond Marquis rings. These are rings from the Cracker Jack box. Or the little where you go and you put in the quarters and you press the little thing and you have the claw. What are those called again? You can grab a ring. That's probably what this is, honey child. It's not a ring that you gotta be like, oh, I just got a $5,000 ring. Yes, good morning to Miss Pam DaCosta. Tracy said she's upset, but not a tear was drawn. Make it make sense. You understand? Listen, Tracy, I read the body language as well, and I was put off with the profanity, the constantly blaming other people. Something didn't sit right with me. I didn't find, Pam said she found it to be genuine. I didn't find it to be a genuine response at all. I cried more about my dog Coco than she didn't shed a tear about her own daughter. Now you might say, a couple months have gone by. Listen, even thinking about my dog Coco brings me to tears. And I didn't give birth to that child and didn't have, I call Coco a child. Y'all know what I mean. I didn't give birth to Coco. But still, it makes me very, very emotional. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge her because everybody, I suppose, reacts differently to situations. So I don't know. Josephine says, ha, 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 vending machine rings. Yes, honey child. So El Ray, you left a kid in the car. He says, yep, it happened to me. Didn't break the glass. I just pried the glass and used old school clothes hanger maneuver. Yep. Okay. All right. Just an update on this cruise ship situation. So there was a post that went up yesterday saying the ship was a little bit too close to shore and that it was allegedly, on top of a dive spot and whatever. The authorities have said, someone spoke to the Eden Rock manager, Mario Blanchot. Is that his name? And apparently he thought it was too close. The department of, who would that be? The port sent someone out there and they can confirm that it was within the area that's allowed and it was not over the Devil's Grotto dive site. I think it might have been kind of close. Oh, wow. Look at this accident in Savannah. Hold on now. What? Y'all, hold on. Y'all know CMR bringing you the news. Quick. Starting to get some pictures now. Ambulance on the scene. Let me pull these up. Whoa. This is crazy. Y'all people, listen, y'all can't drive. You people can't drive. We need to take some of y'all off the streets. Oh my God. Hold on now. Let me show you some of these. Wow. Let me delete a few of these things so I can import these in. Look at this accident in Savannah. Look here. Look here again. Looks like a black Jeep and a red something or another. Did the Jeep hit the wall? Where exactly is this in Savannah? This is that spot straight again, not true. My goodness. Y'all just, I don't know how Cayman people have so many accidents. Ambulance on the scene, now traffic backed up. Look at this, look here. Fire rescue, ambulance, police. Somebody gonna have to call recover today. Whoa. My goodness. What a mess. Call them. 924-9999, honey child. They got you. Because somebody's clearly at fault here. I don't know who it is. But make sure you get all your money back. Whoa. Car parts all over the place. That looked like that was a nice little Jeep too. Mashed up. We're in Savannah. That wall looks like close to Savannah Newlands, Miss Brenda. So I don't know exactly where, but I think it's in the vicinity based on those kind of trees and the wall height and stuff like that. But yeah, boy, look at this. Wow. What a hot mess. I think that sign right there, Miss Brenda. You see this angle? That sign, I believe, is Spots Newlands Road. I could be wrong. But I think it's in that vicinity, that stretch somewhere. Does that look like it, folks? Perla says everybody on this stretch is racing. These people be shaking the road every day, says Alejandro. Garrett says that's outside where I am, Spots Newlands. That's what I'm saying. That's Spots Newlands. Yeah, I think that's exactly where it is. Paul says auto insurance must be very expensive in Cayman. Lord, Paul, yeah. And getting worse by the day, I'm sure. We still not gonna be able to afford it? As many accidents as we have on the roadway. Wow. I don't even know what to say. It's baffling. It is absolutely baffling. Oh, you can see it outside your window, Gareth? What? So it really is Spots Newlands? Whoa. Hot mess. Hopefully nobody's injured. I see the ambulance is obviously there. Hopefully nobody's seriously injured, I should say. But yeah, I think it's right in that area. Alejandro says they need to eliminate insurance. Say what? Are you crazy? Eliminate insurance? How people gonna be paying for all this? No, sir. Not gonna happen, Bobo. Wow. All right, hope y'all are okay. Siobhan says too much careless driving and racing. Everton says probably somebody's fussing with George about their money and got into this. Oh my gosh, we can't blame everything on poor George now. Oh my goodness. No, sir. Denver, good morning. Says, I see a man got knocked down riding a bicycle yesterday as the driver of the car turned to go up Goring Avenue as the rider was heading up Seafarers Way past the museum. Wow, people need to be careful. Let everybody pay for their own damages, but Alejandro, people can't afford it. That's why you have insurance. People can't afford to pay this out of pocket. Sometimes your entire car, depending on if you hit the engine, you mess up the engine, the whole car is a complete write-off. That's it. How many of you can repair a $10,000 repair, or your car worth 25, 30 grand? It gets written off. You can find 25, 30 grand to go replace your car? I don't think so. I don't know what kind of money you got, Alejandro. Maybe we should be talking to you about a loan to George. You can help him get sorted out if you're rolling in it like that. Well, they can afford insurance, but they can't afford, he says they shouldn't be driving if they can't afford it. But Alejandro, that don't make no damn sense. You can't afford somebody else hitting you, but sometimes they have no insurance. Speaking of which, we're going to have another scammer featured here now. Let me message him and see if that little boy not paid. He got an accident with somebody with no insurance, and he think he can pay the man whatever he feel like it. Let me follow up with this man because we're going to feature him next on the show. Let me message Mr. Grant and see if this fool not paid his money yet. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, and one scammer at a time. They come in all shapes and sizes. Lots of Caymanians in the mix. The audacity of some of you is really quite shocking. Some of y'all hit somebody and you're like, oh, well, they're going to just have to wait till I can afford it and whatever. Nothing. And if they take me to court, that's going to take forever. Your attitude speaks volumes, and y'all going to find out where that attitude's going to get you. Folks, that's all she wrote. We're going to go ahead and end the program today. Let me see. Somebody was messaging me on this other phone, I think. Okay. All right. Good. All right. We're going to wrap up the show. Y'all have a blessed day. Please be careful on the roadway. I got to go out there now. I got an appointment at 11:30. I'm going to have to take the other way. I'll take the bypass because I'm not about to get caught up in no traffic and spots. We need more roadways for the same reason as well. Trust me. I tell you what. Everton, last word of the day, says, do the right thing, George. Could not agree any more with that. We'll leave that as the final word of the day. You guys have a blessed day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.